Hello, welcome to Pemms training today. I am Engineer Innocent Uzuchukwu, Morning Grace, your facilitator on Pemms training today. I would like you to know that after this training, if you do your best to be attentive and practically involved in all that you will learn through this course, you will definitely be empowered as a marketer or a senior manager of marketing, or even as a business manager, to be able to cascade rightly energy allocated to you, as well as systematically collect the cash equivalent and arrears without compromising customers' relationship with the business. Besides, you will be able to discover and capture new customers and have summary of monthly reports on your billing and customer as well as meter network status. The training will be in two phases. Phase 1, we have 4 powerful dimensions of Pemms, which are Dimension 1, Pemms Overview and Energy. Dimension 2, Pemms and Billing, which include XMS bill delivery. Dimension 3, which is Pemms and cash collection. Dimension 4, Pemms and new customers. Then phase 2 will involve Pemms Lab. Here, all hands will definitely be on deck, practically on your system doing it. All you need here is just pay attention and participate practically when necessary, and you will get it all right. I want to assure you also that it's very easy to achieve all this with Pemms. Pemms is very easy to understand. So I wish you the best as we move on. Thank you. Welcome once again to Pemms training. I know in some of our minds what the meaning of Pemms. As you can see, Pemms simply means Pre-Billing Energy Marketing and Management Software. Pemms was actually designed to empower our marketers to be able to manage their energy, or whatever energy that is cascaded to them, as well as market this energy for money. In other words, sell this energy and get money back for it effectively without compromising the customer relationship with our business. Like I said before, we're going to go through this training in two phases. The first phase, we shall be talking about the 4 powerful dimensions of Pemms. Dimension 1 will be on Pemms, Overview and Energy. Dimension 2 will be on Pemms and Billing, which include XMS bill delivery. Dimension 3, which will be on Pemms and cash collection. Dimension 4 will be on Pemms and new customers. And then in phase 2, we shall be talking about Pemms Lab, where all the practicals of everything Pemms dimensions have revealed can be achieved. Now to Pemms Overview and Energy. Welcome to Pemms and Overview and Energy. In this environment, or in this segment of the training, this training will give you a brief overview about Pemms, what Pemms is, the objective of Pemms, Pemms estimation fairness, Pemms workflow, table viewer, and energy cascading. You're going to learn a lot about this areas in this overview and energy aspect of Pemms. While going through this training, you are expected to listen attentively, jot down when necessary, document your question during the training, like as the tutor. This is video training, so you need to ask questions via Fed, Pemms at Fed.com. So you ask your questions through Pemms at Fed.com.ng or call PHED IT office for help and support. If you are set with this requirement or you are clear with this requirement, then you're good to go. Thank you. Now, we are just on the very first phase, Pemms overview and energy. Right now, the industry is embarking on implementing the new vision or the new billing system or centralized billing system, which implies that there will be the need or the billing approach will be definitely different from what it used to be. There is bound to be centralized billing. That means all the data from the various business units, like you can see from our holder down to Yenaguar, will definitely be captured, prepared, cleaned up, appropriately billed, or pre-billed by the marketers in the various business units or service centers. And then the resultant data that is needed by the billing system to bill the customers in these various areas will now be sent through Pemms to the internet. Like you can see, the green bars represent the e-reading and estimated consumption data upload. So when the marketer is done with using his Pemms to get the right bill, the right consumption for the consumer, for the customer, he now generates his e-readings and estimated consumption that are then uploaded to the billing system through the internet. So once this data gets to the internet, the bill center manager then downloads this data from the internet, bill by bill, and then forward them to the billing system or the billing system operator to use them, to upload them into the billing system for billing. Or it could also be designed in such a way that whatever data that has been submitted remotely by these marketers from the various service centers of business unit to the internet can also be accessed directly by the billing system and used for billing. So this is just an overview, a kind of dynamic exchange schematics animation view of Pemms. And then the yellow one is, the yellow bars indicates e-reading and estimated consumption data downloaded by the billing system or by the bill center manager for billing. Now we are on objectives of Pemms. Definitely, there are several various or objectives of Pemms. Pemms were designed to achieve the following. Number one, realistic and acceptable billing estimation methodology to achieve monthly corporate financial cash collection target without compromising customer relationship and convenience to pay. To reveal the possible number of unbilled electricity consumers within the marketer's coverage or within the marketer's network. To reveal the possible number of unbilled electricity consumers via GPS coordinates and Google Earth technology. To reveal possible credit meter customers that may have bypassed or customers with bad or obsolete meters. To enable posting of captured meter readings by marketers via the internet to the billing center for upload or direct capturing into the billing system. These are just but a few basic objectives why Pemms was designed. More of this objective includes to reveal number of metered customers in a business unit and in the marketer's coverage area. Also to reveal number of unmetered customers in a business unit and in the marketer's coverage area. To reveal number of accounts with suspected bad meter or wrong meter number in a business unit and in the marketer's coverage area. To reveal number of metered customers versus estimated customers in a business unit and in a marketer's coverage area. To reveal number of accounts with long estimation over 3, 6, 12 months in a business unit and in marketer's coverage area. To reveal accounts with rate consumption less than 40 units in a business unit as well as in the marketer's coverage area. Pemms was also designed to run on an online or offline mode with only specific marketers' customer list updated monthly via the internet. That simply means whether there is internet or not, you can go ahead as a marketer, get your job done. Once you're through with everything you needed to do, you do the right, capture all your ratings and you do the right estimation, then you can just connect to the internet via your modem or via the Fed network and then submit your final product or final or generated data for the billing system to the internet. Now, we are on to estimation fairness. Of course, we know that all our customers are not metered. Metered customers do not really have issues except where the meters are bad, we're not getting the right readings or the correct readings from the meters. Otherwise, metered customers do not have issues about consumption. So it's expected that whatever reading that you get from the metered customer's meter, you subtract the previous reading from it, you get the customer's consumption. So that may not be disputable because it is clear. But for the estimated customers, most times it's not all that clear. So the estimation fairness in Pemms cannot be exact or cannot be ordered realistic if certain measures are not put into consideration. So Pemms' degree of estimation fairness becomes more realistic if the following issues are tackled systematically and continuously in our network. 1. If marketers rate all their metered customers monthly incorrectly. 2. if marketers' customers, both credit and prepaid, did not bypass their meters. Sometimes most of our commercial losses come from bypasses, energy theft. 3. If unbilled electricity consumers are captured and billed. Because if they're not captured and billed, most of the estimated or remaining energy that needs to be estimated will now be posed or imposed on our estimated customers, and that won't be fair enough. So unbilled electricity consumers are actually contributing to our commercial losses. So marketers are expected to bring them in and get them billed. Accurate transmission losses is excluded from energy cascaded to business units, service centers, and marketers. So if the correct transmission losses are excluded from whatever energy is being cascaded to the business units, service centers, and marketers. Then we have bad. If bad or obsolete meters or meters with weak calibration are removed from the network or replaced with good meters. And finally, if MD customers, both metered and those under a connection, consumptions are correctly removed or accurately removed from energy cascaded to marketers. That will indeed, or these, if well handled, will indeed make the estimation fairness of Pemms realistic or very close to reality. What do we expect when we are done with Pemms? The following reports are expected or will be needed for billing. Pemms will, once you're through with your Pemms activity, these are the following reports that can be generated. Estimation report and reading report. If we need to send the data, if you need to send the data to the billing system for capture, then you can print your estimation report and your reading report. And that will be necessary or needful for manual capture into the billing system. And then you can also generate the summary of energy loss report. That will tell you the degree of losses or the percentage of losses in your network. And then we have the e-rating file. This e-rating file is actually the file that is needed for automatic upload of your readings or consumption or ADC that is being needed by the billing center for billing. So this file, if like we are moving over to the UVision, there won't be need for manual capturing anymore. So e-rating file will be generated, and this e-rating file can be uploaded by the UVision billing system directly into the system for billing. So it contains both readings, consumption, and ADC of all customers, which can be utilized by the billing system via upload, direct upload. In other words, saving capturing time and enhancing accuracy of data. Ready for billing. So the e-rating file is used for automatic upload into the billing system. Then after you're done with billing, because the first thing you did to get billing achieved, you were able to manage your energy and then cascade this energy correctly to your customers. Now that you were able to now forward your bills, your billing records to the billing center. And now that you're done with billing, the next thing to do is to collect the cash from the customer. And then you will need to generate cash drive reports, different kind of cash drive report for various kind of customers, depending on what the the amount that they depending on what they're owing the company. So you can generate different kind of cash drive reports which you would use to drive the cash. Like I said, you'll be able to use it to drive this cash, meet up with your target without having issues, without making the customers angry, without compromising customer relationship with our organization. And then you also have the e-bill via Google Ads through Pemms. You want to have access to some of your customer bills. You can also access some of the bills. Even as a marketer, you can access your customer bills, the customer bills via Google Ads through Pemms. But this will come on board when all our customers' GPS coordinates are captured in our database. But right now, the project, this is ongoing. And so, another report you can get is the billing analysis report. Billing analysis report and many more reports depending on what you want and what you need to move on the job. So these are just the basic reports or basic files that could be generated from your activities in Pemms. Then we'll talk about Pemms workflow. Everything we're going to do in the practical will be done in line with this workflow. Like you can see, we have Pemms workflow, and then you'll see the billing system here. The billing system received files. Okay, let's just start from the billing system. The billing system sent bill files, already billed files for previous month to IT department, then process the bill file and make what we call the e-reading sheet data ready for the marketer to use in the Pemms software. So the e-reading sheet data is now sent through IT to the marketer or the business unit via the internet. And then once they receive this file, they download the file into their drive C and then upload it into Pemms. The e-reading sheet is likened to the normal reading sheet or hard copy reading sheet that they always receive from the billing system, and then take this sheet to the field and then fill them up with customer reading and consumption. So once that file is being downloaded into the marketer's Pemms application, like you can see, point 1 says you download the reading file containing previous months with records of customers via the internet. Then once that is done, the next thing to be done is, as a marketer, you log into your Pemms and upload this record for use. Then you list out books and their corresponding feeders availability. Then you group the books with you group books together with equal close power availability to form customer cluster. That means you group books, because after you've done the arrangement as in number 3, you then group the books that have the feeders having close power availability. So in doing that, you form clusters, 1 or 2 groups or clusters. Then you create these groups or clusters in Pemms and then assign individual books to their various group or clusters. Then you also create a special group for special customers, for special customer energy allocation, which include MD customers or on fixed consumption that do not have meter. So you just create a special group for special customer energy allocation, which includes MD customers that do not have meters. And then MD customers that do not have meters, so they are being given fixed consumption. So those such customers are further grouped into the special group class of special group cluster. And then other customers that are not MD customers that the marketer have reevaluated the customer load and discovered that this customer is been consuming more, or is consuming more but less is assigned to the customer, and you want to ensure that the right consumption is given to that customer. Then you make sure you create this special group. All such customers that you need to give the right consumption, you need to give a special consumption, which may be very high, which may be lower, depending on the scenario, as further grouped into the special group cluster. Number 6. Then number 7, then you navigate to the e-reading sheet in Pemms and capture the meter readings of all customers, irrespective of their groups. Then after capturing the meter readings of all these customers, as a marketer, you proceed to the vet wing, where you vet, the readings against rollover, incorrect reading, very high consumption, clear long estimation, as well as negative consumption issues, if any. So you have to look through what you captured, be sure that there are no issues, and then correct wrong entries and what have you. Then once that is done, you then navigate to the energy sharing window, where the energy bill status so far is revealed as allocated energy equal to read consumption plus special energy consumption plus energy on estimation and direct consumption. So when you navigate to this point, it will reveal to you the total consumption and energy consumed so far by the red customers and those you gave special energy, and then plus the estimated energy remaining for estimation and direct consumption customers. Then what you do next is you click the calculate energy for cluster button, which reveals the total count of customers remaining for estimation in each cluster, as well as a box space for power availability. You capture for power availability. Then what you do, you just capture the cascaded remaining capture with Pemms. Click the calculated energy for clusters button, which reveals the total count of customers remaining for estimation in each cluster, as well as a box space for power availability. Capture with which Pemms cascades the remaining energy to various clusters based on availability and customer population in each cluster respectively. Now, that is if you are doing it using that window in Pemms, but manually you can manually calculate as shown in figure 1 below. Option A, recommended, where there are very few meter customers. So we recommend option A, where there are very few metered customers. And then option B, recommended, where there are good number of metered customers. Now, using option A, you select from the drop down by total tariff class consumption, average and ratio. After each cluster is selected and any targeted billing efficiency range from 86% to 100% is selected, and on click of the applied button, Pemms then allocate energy to each tariff class based on the average of actual energy consumed by metered customers and the estimation ratio of the different tariff classes in their respective cluster, plus certain percentage variance of maybe 30% plus or minus adjustment to align with target billing efficiency when necessary. But if you are using option B, which is recommended where there are good number of metered customers, you choose from the drop-down by tariff class consumption average. In this case, after each cluster is selected and the apply button clicked, Pemms then allocate energy to each tariff class based on the average of actual energy consumed by metered customers of the same tariff class in their respective cluster, plus or minus variance of 30% plus or minus adjustment to align with the target billing efficiency when necessary. Then once you're through, you generate e-reading sheet report for viewing, and you generate for viewing and general overview of customer consumption. Then you ask yourself, are you satisfied with the result in step 14? If no, you repeat any of the steps again and you redo it, and it doesn't take time. But if yes, finally generate e-reading file or report containing meter readings, consumption, average daily consumption, and date of meter reading, and then forward it to the billing center via the internet or through the XML or whichever medium is being adopted to the billing center for billing. And so in this case, whatever medium you're using through the internet or via the XML, your final record is being now sent to the billing center for billing. And then once the bill is being processed and generated, the bill files now sent back to IT. IT generates the A4 bills, extracts the files and processes it. But currently that's what is going on. But when the new vision comes up, the new billing system comes up, the case becomes different. The new billing system comes up, the case becomes different, and there won't be need for IT to extract or process the file anymore. IT will just receive the file and then prepare the e-reading sheet data file for marketers and upload it via the internet to be downloaded by the marketers, and the Pemms workflow process begins again and then continues for every billing cycles. This is just the overview, or this is the table view of the workflow. This is the input at every stage. These are the inputs, and these are the activity that goes on at the various stages. And here we have the output. Okay, so in the very first stage, energy is being allocated to the marketer. What's the activity then? Energy is being allocated to the marketer, and then marketer gets aware of energy consumed by his or her customers. Then in step 2, the marketer downloads the e-reading file of previous e-reading file of previous records. That is, the file coming from the billing center is now downloaded by the marketer, okay, and dropped into his drive C. and that will replace the various or the previous or e-reading sheet file in his system. And then the marketer uses makes use of his username and password and logs in into Pemms. And this enables the Pemms to limit marketers to their books and customer record. Then the marketer's books. Another input here is the marketer's books and feeder power availability for the period. Then marketers and books are listed against their feeder power availability. And then books with close or equal feeder power availability will be reviewed and meshed together to form clusters or group. Then after the group is being created, groups are created and identified with character names ranging from A to countless, naming scope limited by the number of groups needed for a period. Then these groups the group's cluster identity results, e.g. A, B, C, D. Note that the resulted cluster count is dependent on what step 3 reveals monthly. Then the special group can come in. The special group are created that will help in making a cluster of customers selected from different books across groups. So the selected customers are made accessible for special energy allocation based on customers' load as obtained by the marketer or approved or recommended by management. Then you have meter readings coming in also as input. So meter reading picked from the field by marketers are captured through Pemms reading sheet form. And then the total and specific customer consumption, rollover, incorrect readings, very high consumption, long estimation, as well as negative consumption cases are reviewed and corrected. Then once that is done, on red energy for energy on estimation and direct consumption customers becomes the remaining energy that needs to be worked on. So Pemms automatically reviews this energy as follows: energy for estimation equal to allocated energy minus red energy plus special energy consumption. So energy remaining for allocation to the estimated and direct consumption customers is revealed. The remaining customers count by clusters, because now that you want to now share this remaining energy, you need to know the remaining customer count. So it comes in now as an input. So the total count of customers remaining for estimation in each cluster are revealed as well as a box space for power availability hour captured, with which Pemms cascade the remaining energy to the various clusters based on availability and customer population in each cluster, respectively. Allocate energy to tariff based on average consumption calculated from actual reading of meter of the same tariff class in their respective cluster, plus certain percent of variation, not exceeding 30%. Then the output here is the remaining energy is now well cascaded to each group accordingly. Then certain percentage of billing efficiency is now chosen or selected. Each cluster is selected with a specific billing efficiency, and on click of the apply button, Pemms then allocate energy to each tariff class based on tariff class average or tariff class average and ratio in each cluster. So remaining energy cascaded to the remaining customers across the group or cluster successfully, and the final billing efficiency revealed. Then e-reading sheet becomes a final e-reading sheet which is an input for the billing system, becomes a final output. The e-reading sheet report is generated after the final energy allocated for general overview or customer consumption allocation. So this consumption allocated to the customer confirmed okay, otherwise adjustment, a certain percentage adjustment variation are repeated from step 9 down to step 11. We are still on Pemms workflow table view. Here we have the e-reading data as an input. This e-reading data is actually the final product, one of the final products from the Pemms application after the billing, the readings and the billings, the energy sharing activity is concluded. The e-reading file or report that has been generated by the marketer contains meter readings, consumptions, average daily consumption, and date of meter reading. And then that resultant file is being made available to the billing center via the internet or through the assistance of the XMM. After the XMM is done with checking and confirming the validity and accuracy of those readings, and then even the consumption. Then he then mail the e-reading data, to the billing center. And there, here the billing center, the e-reading, the readings and the consumption are then made ready for billing. After billing is done or concluded on, bills reports are generated. The closed bill files from the billing center are then sent to IT for processing of bills in A4, and e-reading sheet or new e-reading sheet have been generated for the next billing cycle. This new e-reading sheet that is being made available for the next billing cycle will then be delivered to the marketer for the next billing cycle via the internet. And then the process from the first step, where the marketer then downloads that file into his Pemms and then processes his bill file, bill record through Pemms for the next billing cycle. Like I explained before now, concerning manual calculation of the sharing factor of sharing ratio of the remaining energy after meter readings and their special energy has been allocated. So let's go through this exercise to see how manually you can calculate or you can share this bulk energy, the remaining energy in bulk to the various clusters or group that you created. Let's take, for example, we have a marketer that is being given an energy worth 500,000 units, and then after he has finished capturing his reading, his read customers, and assign special energy to those in special group, then the energy consumed, let's assume the energy consumed by the meter and the read customers and those that were given or assigned special consumption amounts to 300,000 units. That means that the remaining energy will now be 500,000 units minus 300,000, which equals to 200,000. And then let's assume that when he clustered or grouped his customers based on power availability of the various feeders, he ended up having 3 groups, excluding the special group. He ended up having 3 main groups, and in group A we have the total of 250 customers remaining, which are either for estimation, customers that are for estimation, or those customers that are under the red connection. So they sum up to 350,000.
and the power availability of their feeder is 12. And in group B we have 301, 312, and the power availability of the feeder is 10. And in group C we have 120 people remaining, or customers remaining, where the power availability of the feeder is 20 hours. Then if we assume that 1 hour is equal to 1 kilowatt hour of energy, then 250 times 12 will give you total of 3,000 units. 312 times 10 will give you 3,120 units. For group C, 120 will give you 2,400 units. And the total of all of this will give you 8,200 and 520 units. Then if you want to now be able to know the sharing factor in percentage, you divide the various total of the individual group by 8,520 times 100, you will have their percentage ratio. For instance, 3,000 times divided by 8,520 will give you, times 100 will give you 35%. 3,120 unit divided by 8,520 times 100 will give you 37%. Likewise, 2,400 unit divided by 8,520 will give you, times 100 will give you 28%. And if you sum every one of these together, you're going to have 100%. You must make sure you have 100%. Otherwise, when you cascade this energy to the various groups based on those percentages, you would not have a correct value. So the total of these A, B, and C must give you 100%. Now, if you want to know what fraction of 200,000 should go to group A, all you have to do is find 35% of 200,000. That will give you 70,422. Blah blah blah. And if you want to find likewise, or what percent of 37, what value of 37% of 200,000 unit will go to B? You divide. You divide this 337% by 100 times this 200,000 units. You're going to have this. Likewise, you divide 28% by 100 times 200 units, 200,000 units. You're going to have this. And if you sum this all together, you will have 200,000 units. That means for the bulk of this energy is going to be shared by group C, which contains 120 customers, and these by group B, which contains 312 customers, and these by group A, which contains 250 customers. Once this is done, Pemms will now automatically assign energy to the various customers in the different tariffs, energy that is accorded them based on Pemms or sharing factor. So once that is done, Pemms will now automatically allocate the corresponding energy due for each customers in their corresponding clusters. Wow! Congratulations! If you actually followed this training like I advised you from the beginning, I believe you have been able to complete the Pemms overview training. And I hope you found the class very interesting. Before you continue to the next class, have some rest as you meditate over what you just learned. That will prepare you for the next training, which will be on Pemms and billing. Here, we're also going to let you know how using Pemms can help you deliver the bills via SMS or via mails. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we are on to Pemms and billing. And in this environment, we're going to take you through, I'm going to take you through just the basic processes that every marketer is expected to carry out or to go through during the process of billing with Pemms or generating bill data with Pemms. You will also be shown how bulk SMS or specific SMS bill delivery can be achieved using Pemms. So welcome to Pemms and billing. Once again, requirements. This training will give you a brief idea of how Pemms can help you eradicate overbilling and how to generate billing input data to speed up billing processing and enhance billing accuracy. But to understand it, you also need to do the following. First, you have to listen attentively, jot down when necessary, document your questions during the training. Ask your questions through Pemms at fed.com.ng or call Fed IT office for help and support. If you are set with these requirements, then you are good to go. Thank you very much. As we move on, first, like we saw in the Pemms workflow diagram, energy is first cascaded to every marketer from their various service centers or business unit. This is an example of a marketer energy cascade, feeder by feeder. Like you can see, feeder by feeder, and then books by books. So this is the name of the substation, and these are the name of the feeders in the marketer's record or in the marketer's network. So this is just a sample of energy cascade sheet. So from here, we're going to list out this various book by the feeders and also by the feeder availability hour, like you see here. So we have the books listed down here, the feeders they are feeding from, and the availability hours of each corresponding feeder. And now we are going to group these books group the books and feeder based to form cluster based on the availability of the feeders. So feeders of close availability hours can be said to belong to one group. For instance, 346 and 346, of course, it implies that 346 hours implies that these two feeders, of course, workers mean these books belonging to this feeder should belong to one group. And then you see 398, 392, 392. They are much closer than they are close. They have close availability hour, though they have different feeders. They're coming. This is coming from different feeders. So both these and the 398 here, that is a Pogo feeder, and the mother feeder, all group together or come together to form a cluster. The same way you have the whole of these coming together to form a cluster here in C, and this other blocks, the 371 here and this other 371 here, comes down here to form a cluster C. So when you list these books this way and the corresponding feeders and the feeder availability hour, and you start grouping them by feeders who have close availability together, the clusters or groups will automatically reveal themselves. For instance, in this case, we have group A, we have cluster A, cluster B, and cluster C. And then if you match it with their corresponding books, and then you have these books coming from these, and coming from these and these. And then that is from this set of books here. Also, these books are coming from this set of books and this set of books. Likewise, these books are coming from this set of books and this set of books. So if you look at this place, you discover that some books are repeated, and that's why when they are excluded from this list, it looks as if you have more books here than here. It's just that some of the books here somehow it looks duplicated. For instance, you see this book here and this book here, they're the same. And so instead of even these and these and these, they're the same. So we just pick just one. You just pick two of the books here. So by the time we make sure that we pick unique books from the each clusters, we end up having something like this. So, but though you have three groups, like we said, when you have three groups, three main groups, you will end up as a marketer. Creating the fourth group. This fourth group is going to be used to regroup customers that or create new clusters for customers that are on fixed consumption, customers that you want to give special evaluated energy. These customers assumes double cluster code, and the code of their clusters is indicated above, and this special cluster code. So, in other words, the customer that you're going to put in this special group class or group code may belong to any of this group. So, but you are now picking different customers or several customers from the separate groups to form another cluster called the special group cluster. So, the customer in this group cluster are going to have two codes: the initial code of their original group and the code of the special group. Okay, so if you are picking an account from these books, that account is going to have D and C. Likewise, from this you're going to have D and B. Likewise, from this you're going to have D and E. Now, like we said before, that's just like another example of the calculation of percentage ratio. Like we said, the allocated energy definitely given to the marketer will definitely be equal to the red energy plus fixed plus reevaluated energy consumption plus energy on estimation and direct consumption. So the energy on Q should be shared across the group, which is more or less like this is the remaining energy, because these ones are already gotten during reading, capturing, and during assignment of energy. But this energy, the remaining energy on estimate and direct consumption customers, which is Q, should be shared across the group according to their power availability and remaining customer population, waiting for estimation as the right below. For instance, again, we have a marketer given an energy of 783,990 units. And then after the reading is captured, and then energy assigned to some special customers, or special energy assigned to some customers, including the empty customers. The total of energy consumed so far appears to be 89,568 energy. And the remaining energy here will be equal to this 783,990 minus 89,568, giving you 694422 units. This is to be shared across the remaining customer, which is 633. Here, the total population of this marketer's customer is 804. And then reading was captured for 171 customers that consumed 89,568. So the remaining 633 customers are going to share this remaining energy. Now, note that the total energy consumed by these metered customers may not be perfectly correct to our advantage due to bypasses and poor functional meters. So, though this is the actual energy consumed by the actual energy consumed by this set of customers, the metered customers' readings may not be completely correct if there are bypasses and if the meters are not functioning correctly. So in this respect, we advise the marketers to ensure that they report poor functional meters, and then they report bypass cases to their business unit and ensure that such customers are penalized and or such meters are replaced or the customer be placed on estimation. Now, let's take a look at how this remaining energy is being shared across the group. Like we had before, we have Group A, Group B, and Group C. The availability in hours are 398, 346, and 371 for the respective clusters. The total remaining population in Group A is 416, and that of Group B is 112, and that of Group C is 110. And then if you assume that 1 hour is equivalent to 1 kilowatt hour, then if you want to have the total energy that would have been consumed by the customers in Group A, you times 398 times 416, and you have 165568. You times, for Group B, you times 346 times 112, and you have 38752 unit. For Group C, you times 371 by 110, and you have 40,810. They all total to 245,130 units. Now, if you want to have the percentage, or you want to know the percentage of the Group A in this number, Group B in this total number, or Group C in this total number, all you have to do is divide this number by 245130 and times 100. Then you have 67% for Group A. Likewise, you have 16% for group B and 70% for group C. And so when you total these three, you're definitely going to have 100. If you're not having 100, you make sure you repeat the exercise again and ensure you have the correct values. Do the appropriate roundups of the numbers, and then you definitely have 100% if you did it correctly. At this point, you click on the Set Group Allocation button to see the form below and enter various percentage against the corresponding cluster group code as shown below. Then Pemms will calculate their respective cluster energy from the remaining energy and assign to each group. So that simply means that if you take this energy and then you throw it into the Pemms application after clicking a button capturing Set Group Energy, and for Group A you throw 67%, for Group B you throw 16%, for Group C you throw 17%. Pemms is going to calculate 67% of this remaining energy and assign to Group A, 16% of this remaining energy and assign to Group B, and 17% of this remaining energy and assign to Group C. Then Pemms is now ready by your instruction to apportion consumption to the various customers in each of the groups. Now, this is how the groups have been created. We're going to go through just a brief, take a look at the process. Before we go proper into the practical, just take a look at this process. When you open up your Pemms application and then you download the e-reading sheet into your Pemms, the next thing you're going to do after you're done with capturing your books, the next thing you're going to do is to create the groups. So you come to the Start menu and select and click on Select and Create Groups. When you do that, this window is going to show up, and then this is where you select characters that you want to use to form the groups, and you select the month that contains the month of the data that you're using in the reading sheet. That means if you are in November, the month you're going to choose here should be May, because the data that you imported into your Pemms database is actually the data for October. So what you're going to have here is October. So when you select a character here, you select the month and you click Create Group. When you click Create Group, the group that you created will be automatically displayed by the right side here. So you do the same thing for the number of groups you want to create, and you click Create Group, and then you come here, you click this drop down here and select October 2014, and then all the groups you created, the characters of all the groups you created will be displayed here. And so that is how you create the groups, just like what you're saying here. So like you see, in this case, we have May 2014, and all the groups that were created, group A1, group B1, group C1 are displayed here. So you can also add the fourth group to make it the group D, which is the special group. By coming down here, you select the character, you select, for instance, in this case, May 2014, and you click Create Group. And then that will also be created and be added to this list. And then you're going to have A1, B1, C1, and D1. Then the next thing you're going to do is to select any of this group, or cluster characters, and then you click this button that is called Make Current and Continue. When you do that, it's going to bring you to this form, which is Caption Step 1, Grouping Books. So if you look at this point here, the group that you selected will be displayed here, and then all the books that you registered will be displayed on this other side. So if you want now to assign certain books to this particular group, all you have to do is to click the box by the left side of each of the books. The moment you do that, that book will disappear from this side and will reappear, will get appeared on this other side, and the customers that are in this book will be displayed by this reading sheet environment. And as you keep doing that, you keep all the customers in the various books you selected will be displayed here as the books have been moved to this other side. And the total number of the customers collectively in the books that you selected will be displayed here as well. Then you repeat the same process for the various group by coming back here, and then you're selecting the next character, for instance B or C, and you click make current and continue. So it brings you back here, and then you repeat the same process until all the books are selected into their various groups or clusters. And then when that is done, like you can see here, you will have no book remaining here, and all the books would have gone to this other side, and all the customers would have been displayed on this other side. At this point, the marketer will be able to know that he has a certain number of customers as a marketer to market. This is just a sample of, the different samples of sample selection of the various groups. Like you can see the different books in the various groups and their customers displayed here as well. Then once that is done, it is now time for you to pick. If you have customers you want to give special energy, you now come down here in this black box here, and then when you click it, you have the list of all your books there, and then you select any book that may contain a customer you want to assign special consumption. So when you do that, then you click, after you've done that, then you click on this button that is captioned special/exempted customer. Once that is done, this form is going to be displayed, and then you look around for the book, for the account that you want to give special consumption. You just click under the special group caption, you just click the checkbox of such customers. And then after that, you click this button captioned assign special group consumption. Then after that, this window will display to you, and then you have opportunity to capture the consumption, the actual consumption you want to assign to such customers. This window is also used by MD customers to capture the fixed consumption that they are assigned to their non-metered in the MD account. Then once that is done, you continue. Once you're through with assigning this energy to all customers, because you can repeat the same process in other books. So, and the same thing you do, the same way you assign consumption to them. So once this is done, you are sure, one, that you have captured readings for those that are meters, and that you have also assigned special energy to those customers you want to assign specific number, to specific amount of energy to. The once that is done, then you move on to what? To the e-rating sheet. So when you move on to the e-rating sheet, you have something that looks like this. And then what you have to do here, you uncheck this by books, and then you type the date of the readings, and then you click this drop down here. It will show you the list of accounts, so the list of books you have as a marketer, and then you pick any of the books you want to start with. Once that is done, then the account in the selected book, take for instance the book 8212158, will be displayed down here for you, and then you start selecting the books or typing accounts one after the other. And then as you do that, as you type an account number, for instance, like this you have 0873. You press enter, it brings you down here, you type the reading, and then you press enter, it calculates the consumption of that customer and displays here for you. And then it takes you back to this place. You type in this account, you press enter, it brings you back here. You type the reading, it takes you back here. And why this is going on, if the reading you type is not correct, if it's going to throw roll, or it's going to, if it looks like a rollover reading, whatever it looks like, Pemms will throw, you know, a kind of alert to tell you, to ask some question to confirm if this is a rollover case or what have you. So if there's need for, if you made an error in the data entry, Pemms will throw a question or an alert to ask you to be sure of what you are typing, if it's correct or not. So you keep doing the same thing until you are through with all the metered customers in this book. And then you click this drop down and select the next books, and then the account in that same book will be displayed here like we have in this place. So it will be displayed here for you, and then you repeat the same process like we did before. You repeat the same process until you are done with capturing all the readings of all your metered customers as a marketer. And while you're doing that, at this top left corner here will be displayed the total number of metered customers that you've captured so far, and total number of the total amount of energy consumed so far. Once you're done with the meter reading, then you now click continue toward e-reading. You now do what we call, you vet the consumption of account in every book you captured by clicking on this button, the vet button. And when you do that, this window is going to show for every book that you select. When you click on the vet button, it's going to display to you all the accounts that whose readings were captured in that book. And then you look at them to see if there's anyone that is outrageous, that looks strange, that looks so much, that looks too much. And then you do the correction by clicking select. When you click select, it's going to bring you to back to this environment where you click edit, and then the customer will be displayed here for you to change, to type the right value, or to, if there's the wrong reading, to type the correct reading so that you get the correct consumption. But in a case where there is long estimation, sometimes you have a situation where there's long estimation and then you have a very large consumption here. So what we advise that you do is you take a look at the average, or calculate the average consumption of customers that close to that very account here, and then assign it. You just click somewhere here and then assign it to that account. So you click somewhere here, then you type in the consumption and press enter. The reading is still there. So what that simply means is that this customer is being on long estimate. The marketer just picked the reading. So something has to be done to correct that long estimation. So such kind of customers need to be singled out and then be trashed accordingly at the billing center. But meanwhile, for the current billing process or current energy sharing process, you just assign an average energy gotten from the consumption around that account, and then you assign that to the customer. Once that is done, you repeat the same process of confirming that this record are not treasures and they're not strange. You repeat the same process for the remaining books. Once that is done, then you move to the energy sharing environment. So when you get to this place, which is captioned the step 3, when you get to this place, this side of the screen will show you the total number of energy assigned to this customer. Here will show you the energy consumed by those whose readings were captured and who were given special consumption of special energy. And then this place will show you the remaining energy when you subtract this from this. And then this is already telling us that this remaining energy needs to be shared by the remaining customers in their various groups. But how do we get this energy shared? That was the benefit of this exercise that we did. This exercise that we did here. So right now we're going to type in Pemms, you're going to assign 7%, 60%, 70% to A, B, C respectively. Okay, so the energy on Q should be shared across the group according to power availability and remaining customer population awaiting for estimation at the right below. So if Q is equal to this, and we have the following group clusters analysis. Okay, so 67%, 16%, and 70% would definitely be assigned to the corresponding books. So we come here after clicking the set group button. We just come here and then type 67% for group A and press enter. It's going to calculate 67% of this energy and assign it to A, which is this, and 16% of that same energy and assign it to B, which is this, and 17% of that same energy and assign it to C, which is this. And then the D is not compact cluster, but distributed cluster. So it consists of customers from different books and clusters. So this group D is not inclusive because group D is not a main group. It's just a group that enabled us to be able to group account from different groups, which might be group A, group B, or group C, and then allocate special consumption to them, which we did before now. So once that is done, you can now select using the first method. Like I said, if you're going to use by tariff class, consumption, average, and ratio, you now select, you come here and click, you select the group here. Like here you pick the first group, and then when you click it, it will display the energy that's already assigned to that group. And then you come here and select a targeted billing, targeted percentage. When you click that, you're going to have a factor displayed to you here, and you click apply, you click OK, and then you click sweep. And then what it's going to do when you click apply is that it's going to use this factor and then the tariff class ratios and divide and assign this energy to the various accounts in this group. When that is done and you click sweep, it's going to pick wherever that was done and then store it somewhere, and then calculate the total percentage or energy shared so far. Like in this case, you have 86%. So like we have here, it said, then select the first group, e.g. A, from the group drop down box. Select any target percentage ranging from 85% to 100 and click the apply button. Then click on sweep to store the energy shared for that group or cluster. Repeat step 2 to 4 for the rest of the groups. To allocate zero consumption to a group, just check the zero box above and set group allocation button. Above the set group allocation button, that's this. So if you want to assign zero consumption to any group, you just click that and then click apply, and then it's going to assign zero consumption to the group, and then you sweep to have the percentage energy shared so far here. So, but if we're going to use the second method, which is highly recommended, because the second method is going to use the tariff average, tariff consumption or tariff class consumption average. This method is very, very useful in an area where most of the customers are metered. The first method is most useful in an area where you don't even have metered customers. So you use the first method to do your estimation. But the second method, because you have a lot of good number of meters installed in your in that network, it is best to use it, because in this method you don't need to actually use any of to select the individual. You don't need to actually pick any target percentage here. Pemms is going to bill when you pick the individual group and you click apply. Pemms is going to go through the customers that were metered in that group and then calculate tariff, class by class, the corresponding average, consumption. And then Pemms will use that to bill the estimated customers in the same group with their corresponding classes corresponding to the class average consumption of the metered customers. Like we see here, it said then select the first group A from the group drop down box, then select by tariff class consumption average and click the apply button and click yes 3 times. Then click on sweep to store the apply energy for the group cluster. Then repeat step 2 to step 4 for the rest of the group, and to do the same thing like we said for to assign zero consumption to a group, you just click the check zero column box above the set group allocation button. So in this case, Pemms is going to assign energy to their barrier to the customers, to the estimated customers in their corresponding groups based on the tariff class average consumption of the metered customers in that same group. This is more realistic. So at the end of all that, once the bill is ready, once the estimation is ready, you print the estimation report. And when you print the estimation report, it will display something like this for you. So for a marketer to have 638 accounts, you're going to have just 2 sheets, then grouping your customer group by group, tariff and the tariff class, and by tariff class, and the ADC, and the total number of units, and the number of customers in these different tariff classes in the book will be displayed here. So if at the billing center they need to capture this capture reading, capture consumption for this customer, all they need to do is locate the book, locate the tariff code, and then type the ADC 12.16, and automatically the billing system is going to assign this energy to 7 customers. The same thing with this, when they go in there and type the book code and then type the ADC, the billing system is going to assign 280 units to 20 customers in this book. But note very importantly that this estimation capture will be done after those that are metered are captured. After those that are metered are captured. Once the metered customers or the red customers readings are captured, then when this is done, you now get all these estimated customers being billed according to the marketer's evaluation for energy allocation assigned to each customer. Then for the reading reports, a file like this is going to be generated. So the business, the billing center operators just capture the account numbers and the readings. These are the readings, account numbers and the readings, and that should be done first before the estimated customers are being captured as well. But these are for cases where you need to capture manually in the billing system. And then you can also generate the summary and the energy loss report. This report reveals to you the total consumption of energy by each cluster, assuming each cluster is connected to a feeder or each cluster is connected to a transformer. Like you can see here, assuming each cluster is a feeder or a transformer. So you have the total energy consumed by them, and you have the total class, customer class, feeder by feeder. You have the total number of metered customers here. You have the class average load of metered customers here, and then you have the total load of metered customers here. You have the weight class average load. Then you have total number of customers on estimation here. You have total number of loads on metered customers here. So by the time you're done with this, and then you have these as the total consumption consumed by these estimated customers, and then you compare it with the total energy that is remaining, for estimation, and then, or the total, the total energy assigned to this customer. When you get the difference, you discover you only have a difference of this value, and then when you calculate the difference from the total allocated energy, you have an assumed loss or expected loss of 54%. So this report reveals to the marketer the summary of the average estimation load using class weighted average, as well as the losses, the loss percentage in his environment. And this loss percentage in his environment could be as a result of over allocated energy to the marketer. If the energy allocated to this marketer is much more, then it's not correct. If it's more than the actual energy that ought to be consumed, then this percentage will be high. You see, when you use the second method or the second approach, this second approach to do the estimation, at the end of whatever you're going to get is assumed to an extent that whatever energy that you get at should not be that different from the actual energy that should have been given to the marketer. But that is and can only be if every other measures, like there are no bypasses in the metered customer premises, the meters are working fine, the meters are not faulty, and everything is working fine. That means the readings of the metered customers are correct, absolutely correct. Then whatever energy you get as a marketer, whatever energy that comes up here as a marketer after you've used the second approach to build your to assign consumption to the estimated customers, should not be far different from the actual energy that was consumed, except there are a lot of customers that are in your network that are not on the billing system, which you have to ensure that you capture them into the billing system to ensure that the second gives you the best result expected. Now, but in a situation just like we are moving into a new billing system now, in a situation where you don't need to do manual capturing of the readings or estimation consumption, the Pemms application has the ability to also generate an automatic a file that gives way for automatic uploading to the billing database. So the file looks like this. So once you are through, you just go and generate this file. This file looks like this, and then here you have the account number. Here you have the readings. Where you have 0 means those customers were estimated. Here you have consumption, both for those that were read and those that were given estimation. Here you have the consumption displayed, and here you have the ADC displayed. Here you have the date the meter was read, and then you have that continuously over here. So once this file is sent to the billing system, and if the billing system itself is being configured to upload this file into its billing records, that can be done automatically and seamlessly. This, of course, goes a long way to ensure to eliminate human errors. Human interface, human errors during capturing. And that ensures smooth and accurate data into the billing system. More so, after the bills have been generated and processed for bill printing, you know, Pemms has a module that can be used to, generate different kind of analysis. Like you can see here, we have different kind of analysis that reveals the total amount of what the customer is owing, and then the last amount that he paid, and then an information that will let him know that this he is owing a certain amount of money, and then he needs to pay as it when due, otherwise will be disconnected. Or after the bills are generated and processed, this model has the ability to mail this to XMS the bills to all our customers. If we have our customer numbers in our database. So Pemms can also help us to send SMS bill via XMS bill to our customers. So this model is also integrated into Pemms. So but that can only be done after the bills are processed. But with the aid of the new vision, we don't need to process the record again. All we need to do is to automatically pull the information from the billing system and then generate these XMS messages and then forward them to the customers. Congratulations once again. You have completed Pemms overview training, or Pemms and billing training. I hope you found the class very interesting. Before you continue to the next class, as we did before, you need to have some rest as you meditate over what you just learned, so that you get yourself prepared for the next training, which will be on Pemms and cash collection. Thank you. Pemms and billing training. I hope you found the class very interesting. Before you continue to the next class, as we did before, you need to have some rest as you meditate over what you just learned, so that you get yourself prepared for the next training, which will be on Pemms and cash collection. Thank you. We're still in phase 1. You see, after you're through with billing, it doesn't stop there. In other words, after you're through with distributing your product, which is energy, to the customer, it doesn't stop there. The next thing to be done is for you, or as a marketer, to collect the cash equivalent of whatever energy that you have just distributed to your customers. And it is very, very important that you do it without. In other words, you have to do it systematically. You have to make it a friendly dealing with the customer. Now we are on to Pemms and cash collection. Pemms was also designed, like I said earlier on, that Pemms was designed to also help us collect the cash, the equivalent of whatever energy that we have distributed or we distributed to our customers, without compromising the customer relationship and convenience to pay. Phase of the training, idea of how Pemms can help you meet
and exceed your collection target, not compromising customer relationship and convenience to pay. To get it right, please remember to do the following through Pemms at fed.com.ng or call Fed IT office for help and support. If you are set with these requirements, then you are good to go on Pemms. Thank you. Now this is the screen part of your Pemms that helps you to do all kind of manipulation that are necessary to enable you generate reports that can help you on Pemms. Thank you. Now this is the screen part of your Pemms that helps you to do all kind of manipulation that are necessary to enable you generate reports that can help you drive your cash collection. Like I said before, most of the customers may have arrears, but presently they have what we call the current charge. The ideal thing in business should be that if you don't want to accumulate your arrears of customers, what you have to do is to ensure that all customers pay the complete amount of arrears of current charge and then a certain percent of the arrears. This part of Pemms will help you do that analysis. Like you can see here, if you want to see all customers that are owing an amount greater than 50,000, Pemms will display it here for you. Greater than any value, or even there's another option here that can help you find out to know and list out all customers that owe you less than certain amount as well. And so here you select the amount of the record of the e-rating sheet record that you downloaded into Pemms or uploaded into Pemms, and then here you type in your target, whatever target that is given to you by the organization. When you type it here, then if this place shows you negative value, that means the target given to you is less than the target you ought to be given. And then, but if you have 0, that means the target given to you is just exactly equal to the current charge consumed by all your customers. But if you have something greater, if you have displayed a debt recovery box having the values greater than 0, that means the target given to you is 3% greater than the current charge. I mean, the arrears, the target given to you is 3% greater than the current charge. That means you will successfully collect all the current charges of your customers plus 3% of the arrears. So once you have this, whatever case you want to implement, you just click all collection report. And then once that is done, Pemms will generate a collection report for you to show you that will show you a list of all your customers and what their current charges are, what their total dues are, and what you can advise your customers to pay, and if should they pay that amount, that will enable you meet this target. Okay, and remember this target includes 3% of your debt recovery. Okay, this is a sample report of what we're talking about, cash drive report. The record here can also be XMS to customers. In other words, even as a marketer, you can XMS all this record to your customers and tell them, please pay the target amount. A customer may be owing so much,
But all you need that customer to pay is pay your current charge plus 30% of your arrears, which will amount to what we have here as target amount. So when you SMS this to them and tell them when to pay, or when you call them and tell them please pay this or pay this amount minimum, you let them know this is the minimum amount they ought to pay. And so if they all pay this minimum amount, you're bound, if you distribute energy worth 12 million, definitely you will collect the 12 million plus certain amount of the arrears. You see, for the selected books against this marketer, you have the total current charge by book, by the total customers of this customer, of this marketer here. This is the current charge, and this is the total amount, total due by all the books of the customer. Now you can see that it based on if your target is 12 million, if your target is 12 million, if your target is 12 million, then and you selected 13 million as target of cash collection target. So, but the current charge is just 9,748,000 and so on. So you end up collecting 12,700,715 and so on. So if this process continues like that month after month, you discover that even as a marketer, you will always meet your target and then collect part of the debt or recover part of the debt owed by the customer without actually forcing some customers who are owing so much money to pay much. Gradually, as they keep paying certain fraction of that amount, before you know it, the entire debt will be recovered. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you. So congratulations for going through this training on Pemms and cash collection. I hope you found the class very interesting. Before you continue to the next class, have some rest as you meditate over what you just learned. That will prepare you for the next training, which will be on Pemms and new customers. Thank you. Now, the final phase, or the fourth dimension of Pemms, which is Pemms and new customers. Pemms and new customers. You see, in this environment or in this phase of the training, will give you an idea of how Pemms can help you discover possible area of new customers in your network and possible number of new customers to be expected in a given cluster or area. To understand this also, you need to do the following. Listen attentively, jot down when necessary, document your question during the training, ask your questions during Pemms fed.com or .ng, or call Fed IT office for help and support. If you are set with this requirement, then you are good to go. You see, after you're through with the billing, you're through with the energy sharing with Pemms. There is you have a model capture, track, and build customers. You just click the command that links to that model, and this form displays to you. And then you click View. It will give you the total number of customers you should
expect to have in that environment, such that if this number of customers are brought into the system, the estimation or fairness on fairness of consumption on metered customers becomes more realistic, becomes very realistic. So, in other words, this is telling us that energy consumed by this number of customers are already imposed on metered customers when compared to those that are metered. So this part of the model, or this model in Pemms, help you to see or have an idea of the number of customers that you should expect or you should have in your network or in your catchment or coverage area. And when you bring them into the billing system, the fairness of estimation becomes more realistic. Then the question also is, then how do you actually find these customers? How can you actually know where these customers are? Definitely, one of the key tools that can help in revealing the possible areas where you have those customers is the Google Earth or the Google Map. If all the customers in our billing system have a GPS coordinate, and you lay their coordinates, you lay a point on every building on the map, and then when you see some buildings that are not having a mark, that may reveal a possibility that this building do not have an account, or in a place where you may have more than 2 flats, more than 4 flats, and then you're only having one marker. In other words, you're only having one account. That also can reveal the possibility of the fact that these 4 or 5 buildings are sharing one account, and then that means we can break this 4 or 5 buildings into 5 accounts. And so if we do that, definitely if we do that around our coverage area, by the time we're done with sweeping or cleaning up such scenario, we'll definitely have more customers into the billing system. So if all customers coordinates are captured, Pemms can display markers representing account location on Google Map, and areas where there are no markers that have buildings or possible area to visit for unbilled customers. This display can be by all marketers book, individual book, specific account, or even specific GPS coordinate for a specific account. So like in this scenario here, the reason why you're seeing a lot of markers here is because we just use one scenario. We just use the coordinate, by GPS coordinate, and then we enter the latitude and the longitude of the point, and then it now places all the markers of all the customers, on this point. The same way, if in a building or in an environment you have 3, 4, 5, 6 points or customers or accounts sharing one coordinate, when you click that marker, the marker representing that account is going to display to you the total number of customers on that point. Just like this is assuming that you have this total number of customers at this point, but this actually is not the right scenario. So in the example above, all the accounts were placed at one coordinate point, and when you click the marker displayed at that point, you will see, as shown above, all the accounts placed at that point. Now, this is also the best scenario. This is a case where markers are placed, based on GPS coordinate on the roof of every house. And assuming this is correct, assuming this is a correct scenario, this place where there's buildings where there are no markers could possibly tell me or reveal to me that these buildings do not have account. And so these areas are possible areas to visit to ensure that these buildings have account. So this is one way whereby the Google Earth or Google Map can help us reveal to us or to the marketer possible areas to visit for new customers. Then every of this marker, via any of this marker, When you click any one of them like this one, it brings you a window, and on that window you can access via the internet. You can view the bill of that customer. You can also view the bill statement of the same customer. You can also log in to the bulk bill portal of the company to view other bills of other customers that belongs to you as a marketer. So this is just for now. We hope to integrate or implement more things via this Google Earth to Google Map display, so that it will enable us to be able to do a lot of things beyond what we're talking about now. So when you click on any of the above marker, an information window as displayed below will be displayed, containing the last bill record of the customer, direct link to the selected customer's online bills, and 3-month or 6-month bill statement, like you can see here now. There's also the link. When the link of the bill was clicked, it linked to this bill. The same thing, when the statement link is clicked, it links to the statement of that account. Thank you very much. Congratulations. You have concluded phase 1 part of this training, and I hope you found the class very interesting. And before you continue to the next class, have some rest as you meditate over what you just learned. That will prepare you for the next training on Pemms Lab. To have good understanding of this application, you need the following. You need a laptop or a desktop computer. You need to have Pemms installed in your computer. You need to have energy cascaded to you as a marketer from your business unit. Your meter books also, as a marketer, you need to have it. Your e-reading file placed in your drive C, in the drive C of your computer. You need to have your meter readings. You need to have fixed consumption data for customers on fixed and customers with reevaluated consumption. If all this are ready, then you are good to go for that training. If you have all this ready, then you are good to go. We are on board now to kick off on the practical phase of Pemms, which is Pemms Lab. I'd like to bring you to the first scenario, like I explained in the beginning, about the data exchange schematic animation view. I want you to remember also that one of the basic and important advantage of the Pemms application is that everything that needs to be done to make sure that clean records, validated records, proper billing, and accurate, fair estimation is done, can be done at a different Pemms location, at a different marketer's point in their respective business unit and service centers. And once they are done, they submit whatever they are done with to the cloud or to the internet. And then the senior manager or the CCM, the computer center manager, then downloads this information or data business unit by business unit and submits it to their billing system operator to use them for billing. Likewise, the billing center can be integrated. The billing system can also be integrated with this data in the cloud to be able to pull this data directly and then deal with it automatically. So whichever way is decided on, the scenario is that you have more capturing people capturing the data from the different business point, and you have more people doing the capturing work, more marketers doing the capturing work. Right now we have 300 and about 300 and over 300 marketers. And so if all these marketers get involved in the capturing of those records, that leaves the computer center operators or data capturing team with less work to do and help them to focus more on maintenance and other activities that needs to be done in the billing center and get the billing data more updated, more accurate, And then that will help them to attain to so many other things that they wouldn't have been able to attain to because they are busy capturing or readings and consumptions. Sorry, busy capturing readings from the different marketers across the states. And this applies to the central billing system or to any of the separate billing system depending on the scenario. So right now we're going to go on to see how the spend work. If Pemms is installed in your system, you will definitely have 3 P's like this. The first one is captioned Pemms. The second one is captured Pemms training video. This time Pemms training video is an old video. Then the second one is captioned e-reading files. This e-reading file is a folder. If you double click it, this is where when you generate your report or generate your e-reading file that need to be uploaded automatically by the billing system, when Pemms generates that file, it drops it here. And this is just an old video. Why? This is the main icon that leads to the application and it's captioned Pemms. So you will definitely have 3 P's like this installed if Pemms is installed correctly in your computer. So to start now, you click on the Pemms. And then you come to this permission area, you click and you select user. And then you click start. And then under username, you select your name if Pemms is configured using your name. Otherwise, you select the Twitter main variable. And then you type a password, BAR, or whatever password Pemms was used, that was used to configure Pemms for you in your computer. And then you press enter. You wait a minute and allow Pemms to load for you. So by the time you get to this point, that means you successfully log into Pemms. And this is what we call the desktop area of Pemms. Then if you look at the top left corner of this Pemms, of this application, you're going to see 3 menus there. The first one is File menu, and on it you have this following commands, and you have orders. You have the load previous month data, you have the e-reading sheet menu, under which you have reading read customers, estimated customers, special customer list, and class weighted average summary. This is actually where you come to generate all your summary report when you're through with the billing. And then you have the generate e-reading sheet or command. This is actually where you come to click to be able to generate their e-reading file that can be uploaded directly. That e-reading file will contain the readings, consumption, and ADC information or data of all your customers, and that can be uploaded automatically by the billing system by the billing system for billing. Then you have the maintenance menu, under which you have marketer information, where you go to create your books as a marketer. You go there to where you update your books as a marketer. You have the edit coordinate, customer coordinate. This can be used to update customer coordinate, and then this reveals the sharing factor. You know, we have, like I said, 2 methods you can use to do the energy sharing. The first method is by total tariff class average and ratio, and then the second is by total class tariff average only. So this reveals the factors that was used to do the sharing. Then here you have the start menu, under which you have select and create group. You click this. This leads you to the window where you can create the groups and assign assign books to the groups, and then move on and on until you're through with the sharing process. And then the track and bid customers is the menu or command that leads you to or to the area, to the module that will help you be able to know the number of customers that you should expect, or you are expected, that should be around your network, that are consuming energy but are not being billed. So such customers, whatever that they consume, you impose them on your estimated customers, or they turn out to become losses. They turn out to become losses. So if you want to get those losses recovered, then you have this part of the application is going to reveal to you the total number of customers you should be expecting around your catchment area. And then this one leads us to Fed Internet application, that is the Google Earth part of Pemms. This will help us also to be able to discover areas where such customers that are not being billed are. If all our customers if the GPS coordinate of all our customers have been captured into our database, then this becomes very important. We can use this to find out areas on the map, that are buildings on the map that do not have a count. And so that possibly reveals to us areas that are houses that should be visited and account be given to them. And that means bringing them into the billing system. That, of course, will go a long way to help us increase our estimation fairness using Pemms. So now let us go to the first menu. The first thing you do when you log on to Pemms is that, for instance, is that by now you must have already downloaded your e-reading file from the internet and drop it in your drive C. Drop it in your drive C. Let's take a look at the file in the drive C. This is the drive C. This is the file is captioned Pemms. So you must have dropped it in your drive C. So when you drop it in your drive C, then you go back to your Pemms application, and then you come to the file menu, you click load previous month data. That means you are now importing that data into your Pemms. So what Pemms is going to do is that Pemms will delete the old that is stored in the database here, and then we'll bring in this new that you just dropped on your drive C. So click it. Then you have this dialog shown to you. All you need to do is just keep clicking yes, 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 and yes, and yes, until you do not have any more dialog displayed to you. Therefore, then the next thing you have to do is you come to maintenance menu. As a marketer, you click on marketer info, and then you click on books. Then you capture your books here if your books are not being captured. All right? So, like I said, this is the environment where you capture your books. So, for instance, you have these books. You just click inside the book and inside the field and capture your books one after the other. Okay? So if I want to add another book here, I just click here and I type 820014, for instance, if there's any book like that. So once you're through with this, you have to cross-check to confirm, to be sure that your books are captured correctly. Whatever you have there are okay. If this book is not correct and you want to delete it, you just click the button by the side here, the del button by the side, and you click here. That book is deleted. And by the right side here, this is where you select the month that contain the month of the e-reading file that you downloaded or uploaded into Pemms. So if you look at this place, you already have in July, for instance. July is selected. That means the last time this stock was used, July was the current month. Now, the data we just imported is record for August bill. Record for August bill. So, and that simply means that we should be in September now. So that means the
the record in the e-reading file that we downloaded into Pen is record for August bill. And that means we should be ready to bill for September. So that means either of you choosing August, you choose word September. So you're not going to use August now, but you choose September. But the information under the e-reading file or e-reading file is the e-reading file for August bill. So you choose the month, the current month you're about to bill, and then you come here assign the energy allocated to you, cascaded to you as the marketer for that month. Let's assume it's 200,000 units. Okay, then you must click it. Before now, we had July clicked. If you leave it like this without unchecking July, Pemms is going to use July and not September. So you must make sure there's no other month here that has been selected. Only the month that you are about to bill or create bill for. So you have to uncheck July and then check September. So the data we have downloaded, the e-reading file that we have downloaded from the internet into our Pemms is contain bill record for August. And that means we are about to bill for word September. You must make sure that the record you have is correct. The e-reading file that you downloaded is the right one. How do you confirm if the e-reading file that you downloaded is the correct one? Let's go to our desktop, our drive C again. Then let's close this window. We're coming back to it. Here we are in our drive C, and this is the sample e-reading file. You double click and open it, and then when you open it, you double click this Pemms customer data. Once that is done, you scroll to your right, towards your right, and then under bill date, you will see the month. The bill month. So this one tells you that this record is the bill record for August. And if it is not correct, you ensure that you download the right bill record before you upload it into Pemms. And let's close this. Then back to our Pemms. We go over there to maintenance, marketer info, then books. I delete this blank space, right? So back to September, and then you're sure everything is correct. And once this is done, you're good to go. But remember, as a marketer, when you are moved or transferred to a different location, all you have to do is open up this environment and delete all the books that you already have here and capture the new books of the locations, of the new location that you transferred to. Is that okay? Okay. So once that is done, you click done. You don't always come here except you need to update your books, or you need to select new month and assign energy cascaded to you here. Then you click done when you're okay. Remember, the first thing we did was to load previous month data. The next thing we just did is to update our books and ensure that we assign the cascaded energy given to us as marketer in their respective places. Then the next step is to do what? To create group. But how do we create this group? Remember, when we were going through the overview and the four powerful dimensions of Pemms, we discussed about how these groups could be created. We talked about, when you align all your customers, and maybe we have to go back there again. Let's take a look at it again.
You see, this is an example of the energy cascaded sheet. And this is an allocation of energy to the marketer, book feeder by feeder, book by book. And we said, when you list out your books, feeder by feeder, and with the corresponding availability, then it becomes easy now to group each book or to group each feeder based on the feeder availability, based on those feeders that have close availability in hours. So taking a look at this, though you have this list and you have this numerous number of feeders, but when you look at feeders with close availability in hours, you discover that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms this group C, including this other one here. So because they have the same availability in hour or close availability in hour. And then you look at this side also, you have this 3982, 392, 398, and these other 398, 398, 398. They form together, they come together. If you bring them together, both of them have they form one cluster. The same thing with this 346 hours forming one cluster. And so in so doing, you already know the books that are in these various feeders. So when you bring out their corresponding books, you have what we have here. And so once you do this, and then you list out the availability of the feeders in hour, the groups or the clusters of your books, will just reveal itself, just like you can see here now. So the clusters automatically reveal themselves. Then you talk about the special group. This special group then you can be created just to assign, like we explained before, just to assign special consumption to certain customers. And this also can be used to assign fixed consumption to empty customers. So then when this is done, what do you now do? You now have the groups to create. This will now tell you the total number of groups or clusters you're supposed to create. And then we say if you have only one group, that means assuming all the feeders have the same hours, that means that results to one group, and that one group simply means the same availability hours. So there's no difference. So every one of the book code will form one group, will be in one group. But we say when you have one group, you end up creating two. The second one includes a special group. Assuming you have only two groups that were reviewed, you end up creating three, which will include the group D as a special group. Then if you have three groups like you have here, you end up creating four, which includes the group D. So this analysis here is what will help you to know the number of groups that you will create. So let's go back to Pemms now. So you come to Start menu and you click on Select Create Group. This is where you now decide, because we already see that we can, from the example that I just explained, we can see that we have three groups, and then we have the fourth group, which is the group, the special group, Group D. So when you click the Start menu and you click Select and Create Group, this window captioned Customer Grouping is displayed to you. On the left side of this window, we have the Create New Group, and then on the right side, we have the Select Group. That means here is where you create new group. Here is where you select the group you've already created here and start working with them. So how do you create this group?
when you want to create, for instance, we have 4 groups to create. So what you do is, when you click here, you will see characters ranging from whatever character number you have there to more number to the last number. This character may get exhausted as you keep creating more groups, but once you get exhausted, to create more, to add additional group to this place becomes easy, can be done via this link. But that is when you are done with exhausting the group that you already have here. So, but to create a new group now, what you do is you click this drop down here, and then you pick the first group, whatever it is, and then you select the month. The month you're supposed to select here is the month that the month the month that the e-reader file that you downloaded carries. So for us, that month is August 2014. Okay, so we just select August 2014, and then you click create group. Once you click create group, this selected L1 group is already created. If you want to see to confirm if this group is already created, you come over here under select a group, and you go over to 2014, and then you will see the L1 created. Maybe prior to this time, K1 was already created. So now we have 2 groups created in this August 2014. And then to create the 3rd group, you come over here and select M1. This remain constant. You click create group, and you want to confirm. You click here and you see M1. Likewise, to create the 3rd one, you click N1. The month remains constant, and then you click create group. To confirm it also, you click here, and then you see that all the groups are created. This is how you create groups in Pemms. These groups are also likened towards clusters. But it doesn't end here. The moment you're done with creating this group, it is now time for you to use it. What do you do with the groups? You now pick these groups and assign their corresponding books to them. So in Pemms, we're just done by creating 4 groups. Okay, and then there's need to assign the corresponding books to the various to assign the books to the corresponding groups. So how do we do that? The first thing you do is remember that the first 3 are main group, and the last one could be regarded as the special group code. So let's pick the first one. You click K, and then you click make current and continue. It will bring you to this environment, which is captioned grouping step 1. That step 1 is caption grouping books and customers. So once you get to this point, you see all your books are displayed here, telling you that you already have this set of books, available for you to assign to groups. And if you look at this page, the selected group has been displayed, and the selected month here also displayed. And then sometimes, because you did maybe previous month, you did some selections, and you have records here. This record here indicates that you have some books that have been used. If you watch it closely, you see the book code 82005 is not here. That means it's already used. So, but for you to start a new billing process, a new energy analysis with your customers for the new billing cycles you're about to bill for, you have to clear this. How do you do that? You must make sure this place is cleared. How do you do that? You just click this button, caption load books. When you click that, it brings this window for you, and then you click here.
and yes again. Then it's going to delete everything that you have here and then restore the books that we already used back to you here. And then you will see more of all of your books made available and none. So you have all the books made available here. So you have the 8200 now is back. So now this is all that you have as your books, and this place is clear. Then let's assume the first three groups, the first two books belong to this group. Let's assume the first three groups belong to this group K1. How do we assign these books now to group K1? You just simply click the box, click this box by the left of the book, and this place will show you the total number of customers in this book. As you click, just watch fast and very closely, you'll see the total number of customers in the various book. And then this book will now disappear from here and then reappear here, meaning that this book has been assigned to the group K1. So books that are assigned to a particular group, this gets displayed here, and the books that are available to be assigned to a group remains here. So let's take a look at how it works. You click this, you see the book list displayed, and then it reappears here. And then the customers in these books are displayed here for you to see. And if you scroll down, you'll see the total number of customers, which is 48 customers. The same way, you click the next book. The customers are joined here. The next book, the customers are also joined here. If you look down, you see you have a total of 164 customers for this set of three books that you selected and added to assign to group K1. And then if you want to now pick the next group to assign books to, you click on this button, next group. It brings you back here. And then you select the next group, L1, and you click make current and continue. And then let's assume the first chord and this last chord belongs to group L1. So you do the same thing, you pick the book, and then you click the book, and then you see the books here already assigned to L1. And then you click next group to pick the last group, which is M1. You click make current and continue, and then you assign the remaining ones to M1. You see it's still blank here, so you assign the remaining books to what? M1. So just by clicking the box, click in the box, and click in the box. But assuming you made a mistake, maybe this book is not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be in the fourth group. There's no problem about it. All you need to do is you come here and click on check it here. It will release the book back here and also release the customers. Then you can now click next group and then move to the group, maybe K1, and then the actual group where it's supposed to be, you click make current and continue. And then you assign it now to K1. So you can always move any of those books to their corresponding clusters in case you made that kind of mistake. Now you've successfully been able to assign the various books into their respective clusters or group code. Now that you're done with this, the next thing now is, what do you do with the last code, which is the special group code? Like we said, the special group, the last code is the special group code. Is the code that you use, to select different customers from different clusters or from different groups. And then you know those customers very well, and then you know that by reevaluation of their consumption, some of those customers need to have higher consumption, some of them need to have lower consumption than they have been given. All this why.
And also for the MD customers that are having fixed consumption for their MDs, for their customers, you know this customer that have a fixed consumption, you can also include them in this a special cost set of customers. So how do you do that? You come down to this place where we have the book number, this black box drop down here. You click it. You still see all the books that you recorded, you registered with Pemms display. And then if you have one of those customers in code 82001, you just click it, and then you click the button caption special and exempted customer. Then it will display all the books in that code for you. Then you move around, you scroll down and identify those customers that you want to give special attention to. So by clicking this checkbox here. Now, but before then, look at the initial original code where they belong to and see what happens after you click the checkbox. If you click the checkbox, you see now the new code, the K1 code, is what is being assigned to it. You don't make this mistake, because K1 is not supposed to be your special group code. Your special group code is supposed to be L1. It's supposed to be, let's take a look at it again. Your special group code is supposed to be N1, because you have used, these are main group codes, and somehow you were on group K1 when you started assigning customers to special group. So it's going to assign that customer to K1, and that's wrong. So you must make sure you're on M1. But before you do that, while you're still on K1, you go back and make sure you do the correction. You pick this again, and then you come back here and make sure that that customer is released back to M1. So what do? You now click on check this box. So when you uncheck it, this customer is released back to his initial code, and then you can click done, and then click next group, and then pick the special group code before you start assigning and before you start selecting those customers that you want to give special attention. Then you click make current and continue. Then you see the special group code is active. Then you come here and select the book, and then you click special and exempted customer button. Then you start selecting. When you select this, you see the special group code is now assigned to it, and then the initial original group code. What it simply means is that you can always restore. Eventually you change your mind, or you made a mistake, you can always restore every account back to their original group code by unchecking the button. So now let's assume that we are now picking some customers, and then we want to give them the required or calculated consumption that we reevaluated of percent. For instance, you pick this, you pick this, you pick this, and then you pick this on the special group, and then you click assign special group consumption to assign energy to each and every one of them. You click this, and then it will display all the selected account, and then you can come here and put energy for them. For instance, you put 300, you put 1,000, you put 4,000, 3,000, and you put maybe 50 unit, for instance. So then you click. You can also print this if you want. You can also print this if you want. Okay, and then once you're done, you click done. The same way, you can also choose other books. For instance, you can choose maybe the customer you're talking about, you still have them in code 82. You go to code 82, you click the button, and then you pick the customers. You scroll down to where they are, you click the customers. Or you come here, you select the book. Which book is that again? Book 05, you select it. And then these are all the accounts. You know the account number, you pick it. Once you pick the account, it brings it at the top here for you to work. And for instance, like this one, and then you pick the next account. It brings, you go down, you pick this account, it brings it here for you. You pick this one, you pick this, it brings it here for you, just select it. So once that is done, you can do the same thing for every other code here.
if you have such customers in any of those scores. Then once that is done, that means you are set now to capture ratings for your metered word customers. So what do you do to capture ratings for your metered customers? You come down here and click on this button, caption, continue toward rating sheet. But before then, make sure as a marketer you have taken note of the total number of customers you have in your network. This number should increase. It shouldn't decrease, except maybe there is this demolition or what have you. But you should monitor this number to ensure that this number increases. If this number doesn't increase, that means you are not bringing new customers into the system on the monthly basis. So every month you should expect this number to increase, to be greater than this. But that is dependent on if you are bringing new customers from your network. Then you click continue to rating sheet. This is the rating sheet environment. This is capturing step 2. Before this time, I had already captured ratings for about 4 customers. And this is the consumption. So when you're capturing the ratings, it's going to show you the total number of accounts that you've captured ratings for. And it will show you the total consumption consumed by them. So how do you go about capturing the ratings? First and foremost, each time you want to capture ratings, you click here and select the date you pick the rating from the field. We are in September now, so we are in September to August. Sorry, we are in November. In this analysis, it's assumed that we are billing for September. So we go to September. Now we go to what do you call it? To August. Let's say August 8th. Then you uncheck this book caption by book. Look, it's having a check mark there. You just click it to uncheck it. Then you come here and click. You have all the books that you have registered with Pemms. So then if you click any of the books you want to start with, it doesn't matter whichever one you start with. You just select the one you want to start with based on whatever you have on paper close to you. So you can decide to select 82001 or 8200210. So if I click 82001, here would display for me all the accounts in that book. So all I have to do is type a particular account based on what I have on my rough sheet. Type the particular account. For instance, assuming I type this account, it will bring me to where I should capture my readings. And then let's take an instance. I capture 1062900. Then you press enter. It will show me here the consumption and gives me room to pick the next account or type the next account. And then it brings me back here. I type my readings 28900. I press enter. The same way you continue the same process with other codes. Then you type readings 266779. Okay, sorry, 266900 for instance. You press enter. That's my consumption. The next code, type 2978774. Sorry, type for 8000. That's my next consumption. So you keep doing the same process over and over until you're done with capturing all the ratings of all the red customers in this account. Then you click here again on the book number again and select the next code, and then the account in that next code will be displayed here likewise. You repeat the same process for that account. You have 5th, 73 8000. You press enter, you have 5, you have 6000. Press enter. It's asking me if it's a rollover, because here I can see this is the previous reading and this is the last reading, the last and then but I'm typing something. I'm supposed to have my current reading more or greater than my LAR, and then I'm typing something less than the LAR, and because I'm typing something less than the LAR, it's assuming that this meter roll over, and then it's asking me, is this a rollover? If I say yes, then it will calculate the accurate consumption and drop it here. But if this is not, is this a rollover indeed? Of course it's not. The meter has not reached this meter has a digit of a dial of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this meter, but here we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this meter have not reached its rollover point. So this cannot be a rollover. So I click no. Then that means this customer definitely will need to be assigned bid on estimation, not on reading. So if there is issues, if I actually pick that reading from the meter, then that reading can be seen as a faulty meter, or is seen as a meter that is malfunctioning. So I advise that such marketers should ensure that meter is removed from the customer premises by the authority of the management, replaced with new meter, or the customer being placed on estimated billing. If you see here, the last time this meter was actually read was 2012. That was a long time. And now, as a marketer, you get a reading that is less than the LAR. That means something is wrong somewhere. So such issue needs to be trashed, need to be handled, according as instructed by your management, and then get it rightly done, and that will help to clean up the anomalies we have in our network when it comes to readings and what have you. So you repeat the same process again for other meters, for other accounts. 29 1 1 800. Okay, you have 32 88 900. Okay, sorry, this is wrong. 82 9. So sometimes when you have something like base 0, and if this is the actual reading that you got from the system and you press enter, you see it shows you negative consumption. That meant the previous reading that was speak was not an actual reading. It was an estimated reading. So this is one of the reasons why we encourage our customers to ensure that this customer, that they read their meters. When you sit back in your homes or in your offices and just guess reading, you will not guess a good reading. And when you guess reading that eventually gives you a negative consumption when you pick the correct reading, it's not a good scenario of the good work well done. So it's always very important that you visit your customer premises and pick the correct reading. Now, this is showing us that this customer was overestimated. This reading was overestimated, was an overestimated reading. So here is giving us a negative consumption of 832 unit. So assuming this is corrected, and maybe assuming this was actually wrong reading, and then you go to the field and discover the reading was is this. You press enter, then that reveals the consumption that you see. You see, we've been able to see a situation where rollover, when there's rollover, Pemms asks the question, is it a rollover? And is our decision to say yes or no? And based on what we say or what we chose as a response, Pemms calculates or does nothing, and then tags the customer for estimation.
So you continue the same process until you're done with capturing, the readings of all red customers in all this in your coverage area. Once that is done, here I will show you the total number of customers account that you've captured their readings, and this place will tell you the total amount of energy consumed so far. For the sake of this course and this training, we may not have all the time to capture all the readings. But for you, as you do your practice, ensure that you capture all the readings of your metered customers. If you don't, if you capture all the readings of your metered customers and do your analysis, you will get the best feel and the best result. And we also use this. I'm also using this meter to encourage our marketers to make sure that they read all their metered customers. The more of the more the degree to you, your Pemms analysis or estimation analysis becomes more correct when you use the second approach, depending on the total number of meters read correctly in your network. So we advise that you read this meter correctly. Don't guess their readings. If you guess their readings, you will misinform Pemms. Pemms is not a human being. Pemms is just a computer software. If you give Pemms the right record, it gives you the right result. So I encourage every one of you to make sure that you read your meters correctly. Then once you're through with capturing the readings of all your customers, the metered customers this time, then you are set to go to the energy sharing environment where you now share the remaining energy to the unmetered world customers. Here you click continue toward energy share. So this is the environment for the energy sharing platform, where you select groups and you assign 30% of the remaining energy to the groups, and then you allow Pemms now to do the sharing of this group energy to their corresponding customers and in tariff class basis. Now in this area, if you want to now know the remaining customers that are left in each of the groups that are due for estimation, you just click on this environment and then you click K. Here it reveals to you the total number of customers in K that will be assigned estimated consumption. And here it shows you the different tariff classes of account, tariff classes that you have in that among these 256 customers. The same way when you select L, it shows you the same thing here. You have 148 customers left. You select N, you have 96 customers left. So N is not part of it. So therefore N doesn't have customers, because N is a special, consists of is a group created for special customers. And we have already assigned energy to them, so we don't need to do anything with M's anymore. So we are only going to ensure that this remaining energy is shared across K1, L1, and M1 group of clusters. Now, as you can see, when you come to the screen, Pemms reveals to you the allocated energy to the marketer, which is supposed to be equal to the total energy that was accrued from the meter readings and the special energy consumption assigned to those special customers. So these plus, when you subtract this from the 200,000 unit, you're going to have a balance of 193,000. And this 193,000 is going to be shared among the remaining customers in these three groups. And this is telling us also that this 6525 unit is just 3% of 200,000 units. So that in your case, when you are done with capturing all your customers, this percentage will increase. This is just because I captured just few customers. So when that is done, you are going to try the two approach. Like I said, in a case where you do not have enough metered customers, like in this case that I have right now, there are no enough metered customers. I just only captured few customers. Let's assume that is actually the number of metered customers that I have. So for me, in using Pemms, the best approach to use is the first approach. But assuming I have enough good number of accounts that are metered, maybe I have 100 or 200 number of accounts, out of the total number of accounts I have up to 200 or more, then I can use the second approach. So in this case, we're going to use the first approach as well as the second approach. Whatever result it gives for us, we just take it that way. But we know when we practice the real thing, capture all our ratings, we try both approach and see what it gives us. But once you have enough metered customers, the second approach gives you the best result and most reliable result. So you click the first approach, and then if you look at this space, you see you have 000 energy assigned to all this. So we do not really have energy, energy given to them. There's no energy yet. So we need to ensure that we break this energy. We give certain portion of this energy to the various groups. How do we do that? Remember what we said from the exercise we had before, where we have this. Where we have this. So we're going to just assume that this is actually the same scenario. So we're going to pick 67% for K1, 16% for L1, and 70% for M1. So let's assume we arrived at this for that analysis. So we get back to our Pemms. So you come here, you just click set group energy allocation, and then you come to K1, you assign 67%. You press enter. You have 16% here, you press enter. You have 17% here, you press enter. So when you click done, let's get back there. The total of these must give you 100%. So let's see, this is 14 and this is 9. That's 100%. So you click done, and then when you come and click here, you discover that all this energy has been already allocated to the various groups. So if you select the first group, you say the value here must be equal to the value here. This shows you that the sum of this is actually this, and we should be equal to this. This tells you that you actually did the sharing to the clusters correctly. Then once this is done, you click the first group, K1, and you make a choice of expected percentage, what do you call it, efficiency, billing efficiency. For instance, you pick 85, for example. Then if you look down here, it's going to generate a sharing factor for you, and then you click apply. Then you click OK. Then you click sweep, meaning that store what you've done. Then you click the next group. You select another. You still click the selected efficiency. You click apply. You click OK. You click sweep, and you click OK again. Then you click the next group, and you select 85 again. You see they're all having different factors. You click OK, you click sweep, you click OK. Now you've been able to bill 85% of this energy, this remaining energy to the customers. So if you select the individual customers, you'll be able to see the energy assigned to them. It's a conversion ratio. So this is actually the ADC, assigned to each of the tariff classes in this group K1. So these are the different classes in this group K1, and these are the different energy assigned to them based on this option. So if you increase 85%, you can choose 86%, 89%, you can choose 100%, depending on whatever number percentage billing efficiency you want to achieve. So once that is done, You can also check for the other groups. You see this second group, this is the energy allocated to the various tariff classes. The third group is the energy allocated to the various classes. But the good thing is that you've been able to now assign energy, to these customers based on power availability. So those customers that do not have that experience a few hours of power availability will feel the reflection in their bill, in their consumption. And those who had so much hours of power availability will also feel it in as it reflects in their consumption. Then let's take a look at the second approach. This first approach, first and foremost, we're going to show you how the bill looks like. So once you're done with this, and then you want to know from this exercise, assuming you made a mistake, you can still clear the whole stuff and then continue afresh by clicking the clear, and you click yes and yes. So it's gone back to original position. So you can still repeat the same process. You can still reassign this in case you didn't do it well. You didn't do your calculation very well. You want to reassign this energy. You can still reassign it. And then come back here and select them one after the other again. And maybe this time you want to select 88%. And then you click apply. You click OK. You click sweep. OK. Then you come over here. You pick this. You click the same 88%. You click apply. You click OK, you click sweep, you click OK, and then you come to the last one here, you click apply. Before you click apply, you click 88, you click apply, you click OK, and then you click sweep, and then you click OK. So you've been able to achieve 88% of your billing efficiency, and then that is being assigned already to the customer. So if you check the various consumption given now to the customers is different from what you had before. So depending on what you want to really achieve and depending on the degree of fairness of estimation you want to be able to, to slap on your customers, then you just play around this and then you get what you want. So now let's take a look at what happens, the reflection of this exercise on new service. But before we do that, let's go and take a look at the resultant report that we can get from here. Let's click done. Then you come to file menu, you come to e-rating sheet. You want to pick the readings, customers that had readings. You click here. So far I only captured a few customers. These are the red customers. So you have to print it for, billing center by right clicking on it or clicking Ctrl V, Ctrl P, and you can now send it to printer or send it to file. Likewise, you can come to file menu, e-rating sheet, estimated customers. These are the estimated customers, these are the estimated customers that were generated. So you have the 502 customers actually consume a total of 17239 based on the 88% billing efficiency that I tried to achieve. And then you see the various customers, the various books, and the various ADC consumption. And there, when you submit this to the billing center, if they have to use manual capturing, it becomes a lot more easy to capture this book in few seconds, in few minutes. So all they have to do is locate the book code, and for each tariff class, they just enter the ADC, and then the billing system will just assign this consumption to this one. For this case, it will assign this consumption to 37 account, and it already knows those 37 account because they are the accounts that are left without meter readings. So it will assign this 323 unit to this 233 account having C3 as a tariff class. The same goes with the other codes. So it becomes a lot more easy now to capture if there's need to continue capturing at the billing center manually. Okay. Then you also go back there, you have the e-rating sheet and the special customer list. So these are the customers that you gave special consumption. You can also print their readings and then
or these other ones, I only selected them, but I did not assign special customer consumption to them. So in a case, I want this also is an example that is also can be, you will take advantage of this to remind you of something. Assuming you want to pick an account that, and you want to give that account zero consumption, maybe the transformer has been packed up for a long time, or is being on DMP for a long time, then you just make. All right. So we continue also to the class weighted average summary. This class weighted average summary, if you were using the first approach, you would have record like you saw. But if you were using the second approach, you will have something like this. It's still processing. I did a little of I used the second approach briefly, and so that you can see this. So you see it's showing the different clusters. It's showing the total energy consumed by each and all the three classes, and the various point of view. And then because I did not capture my readings in this area, so it's not even showing anything. But that's what you have. Then if you scroll down to the next page, you see all this, and then this page shows you the difference between the energy to be shared and the energy actually, actually consumed. The energy actually consumed. So, and then this place shows you the difference, the differences. So that difference is like 49% difference, or lead to 49% losses. But this is not a correct scenario until you have captured all your readings, and you're sure that all your data are in the system. Then that's what will give you something that you can work with, and that will make a lot of meaning to you when it comes to having a summary of class weighted average for your environment or your cluster. Then, if you are submitting file, which is the e-reading file, to the billing system for upload, instead of manual capture, you come to the generate e-reading sheet, and then you select the month, which is the month of August 2015, because that's the month that has a record that you downloaded into Pemms. Then you click e-reading data. Once you click that, you click OK. So let's take it again. You click August 2013, and then you click the generate e-reading data, and then this tells you that the text is created in draft C. You click OK. This window, the last window that just displayed, is just a module that was used to wrap or compress and zip the file and password the file that should go to the billing system. So once that is done, two files are being created. One is zipped or wrapped and passworded, and only the billing center operators have that password. Then the other one is the same file, but it's still open. So that open file is open for the XML to be able to look through to see what actually the marketer did. So the marketer also can also look through to see what he or she did. So let's take a look at the file, how it looks like. You click down here. Let's go to our drive C, our desktop. This is the e-reading file for upload. You double click the icon, and then this is where the file has been dropped. You see this is 7/11/2013. This is the raw file, and this other one is the one that can be opened. So if you double click on it, it will open, and then here it displays the A to C, the consumption, and the meter reading. So if you take a look at that, you see you only have few customers with meter readings, and then you have there's few customers with meter reading, and then most of the other ones have no meter reading because I did not capture the complete customers or account that have meter readings. because of because of time factor. But I know by the time you're done with your exercise, and you will definitely have most of these customers with their meter ratings, and you have a better scenario than what you are seeing right now. And then let's take a look at the RAW file. So this is the RAW file. You try to open the RAW file, you're going to ask you for a password. So, but when this RAW file is sent to the billing center personnel or operator knows the password. The password will be assigned to them, will be given to them, so they know the password, so they can use the password to open it. The reason for this is so that corrupted file or files that have been interrupted or manipulated cannot be sent to the billing center. So if you send this file to the billing center, if you manipulate the file and send it to the billing center people will not accept it because it doesn't come with this security. So they are only expected to open files that they can access through the password given to them. So once they access the file, for instance, whatever the password is, once they capture the password and send the file, it will drop for them on the screen, on their desktop, or wherever they want to extract this data into this as this. So then they can just pull the file and then put it in their upload location, and then go to the billing software, click one or two buttons, however it's going to be, and then the entire readings and the consumption will be uploaded to the various accounts automatically. So when that is done, that will enhance the speed of bill generation. Okay, so that is how to generate e-rating sheet, that file for upload in the billing system. Now let's go back to where we were before. Select, create group, and then we go to continue to energy sharing, so that we can adopt the second approach. And so let's take a look at using the second approach, which is by tariff class average. So you select it, and then you click clear button to clear whatever you did before and start, that is revealing 62%. And then let me take you back briefly to the first approach. The first approach goes this way. You select the tariff class average, you come here, you select K1, you select target efficiency of 8, you click apply, click OK, click sweep, you pick the next one, you select the efficiency, click this, you click sweep, you pick the next one, you select the efficiency, you click apply, you click OK, you click sweep. Alright, so but in the second approach, you are not going to do that. You're not going to go through the target percentage and all that. What you're going to do is, let's clear this first. What you're going to do is, you just select first the second approach, that is by tariff class average, and then you click the first cluster or group, and you go straight and click apply. You click OK, and you click sweep. Then you click the second one, you click apply, you click OK, click OK, click OK, click sweep. You pick the second one, the third one you click apply, click OK, you click OK, click OK, you click sweep. Let's repeat the process again. You pick the tariff class average, or you clear it. You pick the tariff class average, Pick the first option, and then you click apply, click OK, OK, click sweep, click the second, click apply, click sweep, click the third, click apply, you click sweep. You have this. So like I said before, you can now reduce, this may not give you the best scenario, but assuming you have all your readings captured, then you have a feel of the reality of what we are trying to arrive at here. So but this is telling me that the energy assigned to the metered customers from the average consumption of the the energy assigned to the unmetered customers by the average consumption of the metered customers of different class and tariff classes in the individual clusters sums up to 110%. That simply implies that the energy already allocated to this marketer is less by 10%. Is less by 10%. So, but I can try to reduce this 10%. As I want to reduce now to something to reduce this efficiency, because I'm not supposed to be 100%. Assuming this is correct, you can come here and select maybe you reduce by 10%. You put negative by the side here, and then maybe you type 0 here, meaning 10%. You click apply adjustment. Then you repeat the same process. K1. Click apply, click OK, click sweep, click apply, click sweep, click apply, click sweep. That means by reducing the energy by 10%, so that brings me down to 48% billing efficiency. Okay, I can also increase by 10% by just typing 0.10. Let's see. Then repeat the same process. Well, this is what is given to me, but why I'm having these, I'm not supposed to have these, I'm supposed to have something very, very realistic. I'm having these values because I did not capture all my readings. So I only have just few customers. So I advise that make sure you capture all your readings and follow the procedures that, like I've just shown you, and you will see the correct percentage gross billing efficiency revealed to you there. So in this case, let's assume this is what you arrive at doing it. So this case is also tell us that this customer or this marketer was given an energy that is 38% less. So the energy given to this marketer is 38%. Sorry, is 38% more. So this 200,000 unit is for us to have fair billing on our metered customers and on metered customers using the consumption, the average consumption of the metered customers. We'll have to have, for us to have fair billing, that means 38% of this energy needs to be excluded from the energy cascade to the marketer. So if every marketer in a business unit or in a service center sits down with Pemms and every one of them capture their readings, and then they now plot in their cascaded energy and then do their energy sharing by the second method, you will see Pemms will review to us or to them that the expected amount of energy that should have been assigned to the marketers. If some marketer were given more and the other were given less, Pemms will reveal to them that, look, that means this energy that is less here should have come from the other marketer's allocation. This energy that is more here, should have been given to another marketer. It should have been another marketer allocation. So in that scenario, it will create a kind of balance in the energy allocation, and that will help us to have a kind of fair billing or fair consumption allocation when it comes to estimation consumption share. So once that is done, you can go as well as repeat the same scenario, or to confirm your report like we did in the previous one, your e-rating sheet. You go. All right. So like we said, when you're done with either of the method, you come over to File menu, and then you come to e-rating sheet. You click the Read Customers command to see the report for the reading that you captured. And then, like I said, this you can forward to the billing center if they're doing manual capture. Then you can also generate a report for the estimated estimation that was done. So when you send this to the billing center, like first, the book code and the tariff class and the agency will be used to assign, or what they call it, this various consumption to the various customers. Then you also have your class weighted average summary, which you can use to also see the amount of losses in your network, assuming that your customers are being captured. I mean, your customers are in a cluster, a very good cluster, maybe on specific feeder and transformer. And then, like it's ongoing right now, the company is trying to mount statistical meters on every transformer or feeder. So, by the grace of God, it becomes possible to read the energy, feeder by feeder, transformer by transformer. So energy cascade will tend to be a lot more accurate. So assuming the energy cascaded to this customer is actually accurate, to this market is actually accurate, this will reveal the percentage losses that could be due to transmission losses, technical losses, and as well as commercial losses. So by the customer and the entire business, the entire service unit of that service center or business unit need to ensure that the transmission losses and the commercial losses and the technical losses are reduced to the barest minimum. For the marketer to reduce the commercial losses, they should be able to ensure that bypasses and not cases of bypasses are reduced across their catchment or coverage area. They should be able to identify customers that did bypasses and ensure that they are penalized and warned never to repeat such act again. So in the process of doing that, we might reduce those losses to the barest minimum, maybe up to 10% or what have you. And I believe right now the company is adopting several measures, and we're adopting new measures to ensure that commercial losses and technical losses, even as well as transmission losses, are reduced to the barest minimum. And when this is done, definitely more supply will get to our customers, and then we'll be able to serve the customers a lot more better. Then once you're done with that, you can also take a look at the e-rating file. This is where you generate it, like I explained before. So you just click this button, you go navigate to the month containing the file that you downloaded into Pemms, which is August this time, and then you click generate e-ready sheet. When e-ready sheet starts generating, when the e-ready sheet is generated, the month that will come out in the end is not going to be August, but it's September. So you click generate, and then you click OK. It's going to ratify and drop it in Drive C like I showed you before. Click done. Then once this is done, that means you are through with billing for the month. You come down to a reading file where the files are dumped. The file you need to send to the billing center is dumped. So you copy this file, you rename it, you give it your name. You can right click on the file and you click rename, and then you type for instance Innocent Uzochukwu September bill file September 2013. The same, you copy the same name, you right click on the raw file, you type the same thing. So that by the time this file is uploaded, you can also add the business unit if you like, by in bracket, you type Trans Amadi B. So when this file gets to the billing center, they already know it is from Trans Amadi Business Unit. Trans Amadi B. The same name you allocate to the file. Remember, this is the one that goes to your. This is the one you send to the billing center. This is both you send to your XMM if he or she needs it to make confirmation. But finally, this is what goes to the billing center. And when the billing center opens it, it requests for a password, and they only have the password to do the opening, and then they can use the file generated for billing. Then you are through with processing your billing files and capturing your ratings and getting consumption and allocated to your customers appropriately and forwarding the file to the billing center for billing. Then after the billing, your bills are out and you have to distribute the bills. But before you distribute, you are distributing bills for the next month. But the data that you imported into Pemms has record of bill transaction for the previous month, which is the transaction you need to collect. The one you are sending now, the bill you are sending now, okay? The your bills you're sending now will be paid for, and then will be analyzed for next month. But the bill that we are already paid for, the bills that we are already delivered, which is that of the previous month, you need to make sure that the collections are done correctly. So this will lead us to the arm of Pemms that has to do with cash collection. So like I said before, once you arrive at Pemms, you arrive at this environment we call the desktop of Pemms. Here you have the month that contains the data that you downloaded from the internet for the preparation of the new billing cycle. And here is where you're going to type your target amount, whatever target that is being given to you by your business unit. And when you do that, here is when you're going to enter make selection of the desired debt recovery percentage. For instance, assuming I type target of 12,000, 12 million, for instance, and I press enter. Minus 12 tells me that I have not, that this 12 million is less than my actual target.
is 12% less than my actual target. So that means, if assuming this is the target given to me by my business unit, this tells me that I was giving target less 12% less than the actual current charge consumed by my customers. So I on my own can even increase this, or this on his own can even reveal to the XMM, whoever gives the target, that he underestimated the target given to the marketer. So if I increase this by 8 million, for instance, this is 10. If I increase it by 20 million, so if I increase it by, this is 20 million by 60 million, fine. This reveals to me that reveals to me, if I make it 5 million, for instance, fine. This reveals to me that my target should be not less than 500, nothing less than 50 million. And then I'll only be able to collect 0.6% debt recovery from the previous arrears. But if I want to collect more debt recovery from the previous arrears, maybe I may increase this to 9 or 8. Let's see what's going to give us. That means this case means if I use 58 million as my target, then I'm going to get the 658 million plus. This 58 million includes the total amount of my current charges, of my customer current charges, plus 3% of the corresponding debt. So when this is done, for me to be in business, I should have, this place should not be less than 0 and should not be equal to 0. If I'm going to experience constantly continuous growth of progress in business, I should be able to collect my complete current charge and then a fraction of the debt owed by the customer in previous transactions. Once this is selected, you now come here and click and say, you can do a lot of analysis here. You can decide to say, okay, based on this, okay, let me start from here first. Once this is done, you just click All Collection Report. When you click this, you see, this is a sample of what you're going to see. The sample of what you're going to see. So here it reveals to you the list of all your customers and the current charges and what the total dues are and the target amount that each of these customers should pay to the marketer, or should pay. And should they do this, the marketer will be able to, reach the target of 68.844 blah 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 million. This is the current charge. The current charge is 48 million. The total arrears or total amount due by all these customers are 337 million. But for you to have constant growth, in cash collection, constant growth, a growth that improves, ensure that every month you collect your current charges and you collect part of your arrears across board from all your customers without compromising relationship and without even compromising their convenience to pay. You realize that using this approach from Pemms, you can meet your target and even exceed it. If some of the customers, somehow you can persuade them to pay more than this target amount. So from the list here, you discover that
if you have access to all your customers, you can email this target amount to them. Okay, for instance, just like this customer here. If this customer, okay, look at this customer, current charge is this, and this customer has been owing 200, the total due is this. And so we are saying to this customer, just give us this amount of money. We are saying to the same customer here, give us just like 6,000. Even though we know that you're owing 608,000, just give us 36,000 for this month. And this customer just give us 39,000 for this month. And then if we're able to convince, if all of them pay just what we want them to pay for this month, we definitely realize 56. Then when you begin to ask the customer, you are owing us you're owing us 187,000, pay 80,000, pay 50,000. If we say to the customer, just give us for this month, and then if we collect this across board, we'll definitely meet our target. And then the customer will not be overstretched, and then the relationship between the customer and the company will still remain intact. You can also print this report as a marketer, and then you pick your account one by one and forward XMS to your customers. And then, or you can use the Pemms XMS model, which can help you import this list of customers into the model list, into the phone book list, and then forward the XMS automatically to the respective customers, revealing what the current charges are, the total dues are, and what you expect them to pay, and when the deadline that you want them to pay, otherwise you disconnect them. Okay, still on payment and cash collection. Like we already have, we're taking 58 million as the target. We know that we're going to recover 3% from the old debt. And then when you click all collection, this will show you all the report, list for you all your customers book by book, and then it will tell you, show you the current charges, the total due, and the amount each of them is supposed to pay for you to meet your target. And you will collect a fraction of your, of your tariff, of the, old arrears. Okay. Then you can also generate the same report book by book here by selecting any book of your choice, and then you click cash collection report. It will show you the same thing, and it will show you what's supposed to be your target book by book. So with this book, this is where the customers are owing, and with this you'll be able to know the area that is owing you more. For instance, like the total due as a marketer that all your customers are owing the in company is 33 million, and here tells you that this book is owing out of 33 million 18 million. This book is owing 50 million. This other book is owing 33 million. This other book is owing 24. This other book is owing 18. And this other book is owing 104 million. And you see 104 million. So you can do various analyses for the corresponding book, for the separate books, because this book is owing you more. So you can even do an analysis. You can use different analyses, different debt recovery rate. You can set different targets that will result to different debt recovery rate, and so that will help you be able to do different analysis for different customers. But the basic issue there is that you collect your current charge. So you see here, the monthly target current charge is 8 million, but the target is 11 million. So if they all pay what is here, what is displayed in this report, you will hit that 11 million. you will definitely hit the 11 million. Let's move to the next book. This book is owing worth 12 million. So you do different analysis for them, debt recovery analysis, and what have you, and then you generate whatever you want to generate and use the value to drive your cash. You can also generate value report for each customer. For instance, like this customer. You can also do more analysis here by, looking for amount, custom account, list of account with amount due greater than, maybe say 50,000. You click this button, it will show you a list of accounts with amount due greater than 50,000, and based on this analysis here, it tells you what they need to pay you to be able to realize something good. So you can say list of account with amount due greater than 5 million. You click this, and then it shows you these customers, and then with additional target amount, and then you just meet them and ask them to pay this, and when they pay this, you're gonna hit collect 14 million. So you can do all manner of analysis here. You can say list of account less than maybe say less than 100,000, or you less than 100,000. It will show you such list of account. You can preview, and then for each of these analysis, you can set different targets. But the target should not be less than this. You can set should not be less than 50 million, as a general target. So the basic reason here is you can come here and say, okay, I want to increase this by 5%. So when you say by 5% and you do that, you're going to have you want to increase debt recovery by 5%. It will give you this kind of report. And here, if you successfully collect that money, you will be hitting 62 million. So you can also decide to say 4%. When you do that, you'll be hitting 59 million. You can even put it out at 3%. If you do that, you'll be hitting 56 point something million. So you just play around the screen, and then do all kind of analysis that you can do, and then drive your cash. You will be surprised that you will hit far beyond your target monthly. You can also search for accounts by account name, by meter number, by addresses, or by account number. So this is for now. This is Pemms and cash collection. I hope this unit will definitely help you if you know how to do the manipulation and do the right selection. Put in the right target amount and the debt recovery percentage. You will definitely have that record or data that will help you drive your cash on an effective monthly basis. I hope this helped you, because after the billing, this is very, very, very important. Now let's move over to Pemms and new customers. Like I said before, we have two ways we can know what number of customers we should be expecting in a coverage area, and then to be able to know areas that we can visit, possible areas that we may have new customers springing out of them. So we click on Start, and we click on Track on Bill Customer. Using the Track on Bill Customer module, once you come to this environment, from Start menu, you click Track on Bill Customer. It brings you to this environment. You just click View. So if it gives you a positive value, that positive value indicates that the possible number of customers that you should bring that could be around your coverage area that are using energy without being billed. And if you bring them into the billing system, that will make the fairness of estimation a lot more realistic. But when you have a negative value like this, it simply indicates that probably we have no customer at all in that catchment area, but somehow we have billed much more than the total number of people in that environment should have consumed. In other words, we be the excess by a deceased customers. So, but this value here is definitely not giving us the real picture, because in the course of my analysis or in the course of this exercise, I did not capture all metered customers. So, but when you do capture all your metered customers and you do everything as instructed, you definitely have a positive value here, and then you have something very much realistic. So the track on bid customer is a calculation where is a way of finding out how many customers that you should expect in your coverage area by calculation, which is based on the energy share and other analysis and the metered customers reading that you captured. Then let's move over to using the map approach. Okay, the map approach and GPS coordinate to be able to see possible environment or possible area that a marketer need to visit in search of new customers. You click on start and then you come on first internet app. And then here you can do your analysis based on books and based on a specific account or based on the marketer. So let's take an example of a book. For instance, if I click this option by book and I come here and I select this book 82001, and these are tentative coordinates, and then I click view map. Now, these are the markers of customers in that book. Let's assume these are actually all the customers of that marketer. Let's assume he covers this environment, and then I'm seeing markers on some roof, and there are some roofs that are no markers. So if this actually is the correct scenario of this marketer's coverage area, that implies that where the roofs where there are no marketers signifies there's possible areas I need to visit to confirm the account status of those houses. So if I click, so this is one good way of discovering possible areas where new customers could be found via the Google Map or Google Earth through Pemms. So you can zoom down to the various houses, you can navigate, you can move this way or that way, you can move as if you are in the space, and then just take a look at what's going on in your coverage area. And then you can zoom out, and then you can pick an account like this one. You can pick an account like this. When you click an account, a marker like this, and it's showing you 3 icons, it tells you that very point there are 3 accounts there. 3 accounts here, 1 account there, 3 account there, 3 account there, 3 account there. There's 3 accounts there. You have 1 account there. Here you have 1 account. You can zoom to that very building, and then you have, it tells you that you have three accounts in this place. Maybe one is for this place, the other one is for this place, and the other one is for this place. Maybe there are 3 companies. There's a building here, and he's not having an account. So you need to visit the place to find out to know if this is a separate company or not. So these are possible ways of finding out new customers via Google Map or Google Earth. I believe this will go a long way to help us. But this approach can only be viable if all the customers we have in a database have that GPS coordinate captured. So there is need for the GPS coordinate of our customers to be captured into the database for this very approach to become very viable and useful to the system. And then you can pick an account, a customer or an account. When you click on that marker, it will display for you the account number, the name of the customer, the address, the last payment date and amount, the net arrears, the current charge, and the current balance for the particular month, for the current month. And then you can click view bill to view the bill. You can click view and view bill statement to view statement, and you can click the login link to be able to log in into our third bulk bill print, online bulk bill print portal. So when you click this, for instance, it will take you to our third bulk bill platform where you can log in, and then you can log in, and then if you are licensed or you are authorized to go in, you can log in and then have access to the third bulk bill environment. At this point, I would say that we've come to the end of the training, and I like to say that this training is we just created this training to ensure that our marketers in the various locations have access to what they can use to be able to go through the implementation of Pemms in billing and in cash collection, and also be able to use Pemms for the approach or the tools of Pemms to be able to find out the total number of customers they should expect in the coverage area, and be able to know the areas to be able to visit, in search of such customers. I want to believe that this training will go a long way to help our marketers to empower you to be able to do more than you're doing now. And then you may have some comment, you may have observed some errors in the course of the training, you may have observed some typographical errors or grammatical errors. But we are open, for your criticism, because we are open for your corrections. We are open. You can send us a mail on pemms@fed.com.ng. Listen out your observations, and then we'll definitely correct them in the next version of this video training on Pemms. And I'd like also to let us know that the new version of Pemms has a lot more than this very version that we use for the training. And then we hope to update every marketer with a new version of Pemms in the future. But we can only be encouraged if this current version is being implemented, and then the value or the result of implementing this current version is evidence in our production, in our productivity, in our billing, and response to customers, in making payment and what have you. So at this moment, I'd like to say congratulations for going through this training, and I wish you good luck as you do implement Pemms in your billing operations, billing activities, and cash collection as well. If you actually participated during this training, then during this 4 dimensions trainings on the 4 powerful dimensions of Pemms, as a marketer, you have been empowered to manage and market your cascaded energy, as well as collect its cash equivalent without compromising customer relationship of Fed business. I wish you success days ahead, even as you implement
what you have learned to make this industry the best provider of services. Thank you for completing this training.